Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the NEFL. This is the elimination final between Sydney University and Canberra. We are this afternoon at Blacktown International Sports Park, or BISP as it's known to some. Mark Kennedy's my name, and joining me this afternoon, it's good for me to be in New South Wales here in Sydney, but also joining me, and it's great to have him with me, is Eddie Summerfield. Welcome, Eddie.
Good afternoon, Kangaroo, and welcome to the great state of New South Wales. You've brought the weather from up north down with you today. It's a beautiful day in Sydney. A bit of rain during the week and overnight. The wind, as you're watching it, it's blowing probably to the right-hand side of your screen. Maybe a 2 or 3 goal breeze. It will make it tough kicking goals to the left-hand side today. Well,
I think goals are going to be at a premium this afternoon. The wide expanses of this ground will lend themselves to. Both sides come in differing form. Sydney Uni, they're coming in with a little bit of form, really sort of momentum coming behind them. Canberra, on the other hand, they've dropped a number of games in a row. Some 5 weeks ago, they were sitting on top of the ladder, and they've limped into the finals in 6th position. So, real differing way we can look at this game today. But Canberra, they'll no doubt get themselves up.
No doubt about that. First ever finals campaign in the NEFL this season. It's been a season of firsts for Canberra this year. They beat Sydney Uni for the first time earlier on. They topped the ladder for the first time earlier on. But their form coming in today has been very indifferent as the toss of the coin is happening in the middle of the ground. A couple of injuries for them last week. Cameron Milne, of course, the ruckman, bit of concussion, and Tom Fall hamstring. So they're both out of the Canberra lineup. For Sydney Uni, there has been a late change. Nathan Cooper, the halfback flanker, he is out with an ankle injury. Coming in for him is Josh Burke. Bit of Giants Academy experience this year for Josh. So looking forward to see. I don't think those changes will have too much of an impact to play for Sydney Uni, but Canberra?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the ruckman out in Milne's a big one because they need him to go up against big Sam Tagliabue. And Tom Fall, he was a surprise forward for me this year, but he's been very reliable and he provides that forward target up there. So much is going to fall on the shoulders now of the captain, Aaron Bruce, who incidentally won the toss and will kick to the right-hand side of your speaker or the right-hand dial if you're listening on the radio or you just got the Santan down. But we are here on NEFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And, of course, this is the 2018 Tribal Sport NEFL Finals Series. It's going to be a cracking game. The sides' last messages, what do you think is really the key messages that both sides are giving to each other now?
I love the message came out during the week from Aaron Bruce, the Canberra captain. He said, "We need to stop being afraid to take the game on. The key this weekend is to play with almost reckless abandon." And I think that is the key for the Demons today. If they can get hold of this game, they're the number 3 long kick team in the competition. So I think if they take the game on, find a couple of marks inside 50, which will be tough against the Sydney Uni defence, they can go a long way towards winning, but they've got to take the game on from a minute from now.
Well, I know Sydney University coach Tom Morrison. I was having a chat with him after the NEFL MVP Awards on Sunday night, and he was very, I suppose, wary of what Canberra can bring. The pressure, the enthusiasm, that young, I suppose, hustle and bustle that they bring around the football. He was really worried about that could bring the experienced Sydney Uni players undone, particularly on that second phase of play where they can get forward and really hurt them on the scoreboard. So it's going to be very interesting. Players will move to their positions, or as they do, Sydney Uni already there. But what's your tip this afternoon, Eddie?
Yesterday, I was thinking it'd be Uni by about 5 goals. Today, I think it'll be Uni by about 2 goals. They've been a very good team all season. We know their record in finals. They haven't won a prelim yet. They'll want to get there next week to take on the Swans. Canberra, they haven't been here before. Welcome to September, Demons. This is going to be good fun for them today. The first 5 minutes of this game are going to be manic. Kanga, who do you think?
Yeah, I think 6 goals in favour of Sydney Uni. I think the form is just a little bit overwhelming to ignore. And Canberra, they've just dropped off a little bit. I know they'll get up this afternoon, and we're going to be right in amongst what is going to be a contest with plenty of heat in it early. So we're going to see how this rolls. And the man that's going to take the first bounce in just a moment is Eddie Summerfield. This is the NEFL, the 2018 Tribal Sport NEFL Final Series. And, of course, the NEFL, proudly supported by Elastoplast, Eddie Summerfield.
Canberra, for the first time in finals, they're kicking to the left-hand side of your screen.
Bit of
a chance to do it again.
Anti-climax, wasn't it, Eddie?
Didn't quite give them the go-ahead. So they're to the right-hand side of your screen. Sydney Uni to the left. Canberra for the first time in September. Thrown up again. Tagliabue won this one down to Bird. The clearance king got it to half forward for the students. Mark spilled, ball at ground level. The Demons did well there, high up and under. That could bring rain later this afternoon. Tagliabue used his body well, not the 15. The clearing kick came from Highmore for Canberra. Got it to the wing. Now the foot race is on. Leading it is the Demons. Vanguard couldn't quite pick it up, flicked it out, so he didn't get pinged for holding the footy. Near the boundary line out there, and the Demons will go inside 50 for the first time this afternoon. Footy bouncing in front of Hebron, and it goes out of play where it will be tossed in. Canberra in attack, early stages of the first elimination final.
What about it? The back line there? It was Tom Highmore that kicked the high ball, and then he was the one that actually caught it and cleared it himself. So a little bit of the bomb and the charge thereafter.
Kick and chase.
Absolutely. So ball back into play, right on forward 50. Tagliabue had front spot, but Canberra take it away inside forward 50. Bruce is the target, gets the one arm up. Just comes through, bull, like the bull he is. But now, as he goes to ground, he's laid on by a couple of Sydney Uni players. And one of those is Bartholomeus and also the other O'Brien, both very good players.
So throw it up, Canberra's forward 50. Young got a kick, it was smothered for the students, trying to clear defence now. Birds laying the tackle for Sydney Uni. Young again flicks a handball backwards, and Uni will clear from their defensive 50, but it will be cut off. And the mark's taken in the middle of the ground. Canberra looking to go here. Good defensive work by Sydney Uni as it helicopter kick inside 50. 3-on-1. Sydney Uni with numbers. Ball spilled to ground level. Vanguard couldn't quite get a kick away. Uni with numbers. Ball flickering around. Bird bent over, picked it up. Couldn't quite get a clean possession. Bit of a drop kick if you like. The Demons pressing hard. Could have been a high one, but the umpire blindsided where it will be tossed up.
Very unlucky not to get a free kick there. Fulford. Thought he copped a high one. Umpire on the other side. Hit out there. That was by Pake in the ruck today. He and Richards will do all the work. Ball stuck under plenty and will do it all again. 40 metres out from goal. Canberra attacking. So some good early signs by the Demons. Again, Tagliabue, a little bit bigger. Goulden just buffeted off it as he kicked the ball. Young couldn't get anything clean away either. Fulford. Now Tagliabue, he gets it out. They'll share it along the way here. Bartholomeus, chain of handballs, goes down the line and finds Davies.
So Davies on centre wing. First chance for Uni to really press forward. Poor kick. It just floated into the hands of the coach, Klemke. Moved it quickly. That manic footy that we spoke about pre-game as the kick goes inside 50 off the boot of Osborne. Bruce there couldn't mark. Ball at ground level. Tagliabue got one in the back. Umpire called play on. Uni with numbers around the stoppage. Couldn't quite get a clean possession. Still bubbling away in there. Day picked it up. Went backwards via hand. It will work out okay where Stevenson will get a clearing kick.
So one-on-one contest further afield. Lucy had front spot. Now the cavalry arrive in the form of Sirakoski. Has his cocks forward of centre. Now on that outer wing, just shows a clean set of heels there. Inside forward 50 for the first time. Young and also Derrick's there. It was Young couldn't handle it, so Derrick's came again. Now a kick it, dangerous spot, but the umpire will intervene. That's the boundary umpire and said no, that was out of bounds, so I'll take it back and throw it in. Inside forward 50 on that outer side, some 40 metres around from Sydney Uni's goal.
Geez, Damien Bonney just lurking there out the back. He was screaming for it as he led towards the goal square, but unfortunately for him, Derrick's ran out of space in that forward pocket.
Of course, Bonney, goal of the year.
Oh, yes, at the SCG, a ripper from similar spot to where it's been thrown in at the moment.
That's right, so ball back into play. Tagliabue, front spot again. You can't give that away. Maguire just tried to hit it forward. Sirakoski now. O'Brien was in there on hands and knees. Plenty of players around. Now the clearance comes from Malign. The kick was partially smothered. Well done there by Canberra. It'll end up with Bruce. Bruce inside forward 50. Open spaces. What's going to happen here? They have the numbers, but can they do the right thing, Sydney Uni? And in fact, it was a good work there by Reid Stevens. Well, he dived on the ball to try and hold it up, and Sydney Uni, they'll win the free kick. I thought for a moment he was going to get away with it and it was going to be a ball up. So in the back pocket, Sydney Uni can relieve on that outer side.
How's the experience then from the skipper, Tim Barton? Brought up his 100th NEFL game earlier this season and in possession of it now. Short kick is good. Finds Hebron, has to go, put it on his right boot to the middle of the ground where Bird's waiting. Just dove into it to take the mark. He'll complete the cross of pay to Potter. He's got a paddock to work with. Looks forward. Young's there. Derrick's as well. Goes his direction. Hits him on the chest.
It might be Lucy, I think.
And I think you're 100% right. So Lucy will be lining up from 45-degree angle. First real set shot of the afternoon there, Kanga.
Well, Lucas Malign, he just fell over in the middle of the ground, which allowed Bird to take the easy mark, and then it was Potter that got on the end of the handball to push it down towards Lucy. So a little bit of an error there in the middle of the ground costs. And Austin Lucy, the boy, originally from the Sunshine Coast, up my neck of the woods, on Essendon's list at one stage, but he's played for a few NEFL clubs.
Played all 18 games this season, kicked 15 goals. This one coming back, it drifts through, and Uni have the first score of the day through a beautiful Austin Lucy goal.
Was a lovely kick. We were right behind it here on NEFL TV, and I guess we thought it was just hung out to the left too much, but it just came back on the wind. It was beautifully measured by Austin Lucy, and on the Tribal Sport replay, we see it just hanging out to the left and just fades back to the right nicely, and they're certainly happy to get around him. And in this 2018 Tribal Sports NEFL Final Series, that's the first one on the board, the first score, and we are away, at least on the scoreboard, and Sydney Uni likewise.
So Canberra, you feel in this opening 6.5 minutes, they've had most of the possession, most of the play. Sydney Uni get the footy inside 50 and kick the first goal.
There's a free kick in the stoppage. It'll go to Zach O'Brien. He just chips the ball almost to the forward 50. Bonnie, just the one arm up. Canberra under enormous pressure. Plenty of students around the area. Loitering around looking for something free as the students do. Owen Orban gets it off to Taylor. Taylor under pressure. His kick close to the boundary line. Out of bounds on the full. So Sydney Uni, they will take the free kick and it will go the way of Jack Dimmery.
Great pressure there from Sydney Uni. Just not willing to give the Demons a easy possession as Dimmery brings this one back into play where he finds O'Brien. Has a look further afield. The Demons have marked back well as he keeps it boundary side. Good use of the body there from the Demons, but Uni, they've got numbers. Here's Taylor for Canberra as the kick comes to the wing. It'll bounce there in front of Burke, the late in today. Couldn't quite pick it up. Canberra with numbers. Stevens there, tried to barge his way through. Couldn't quite. Great tackling pressure from Dimmery, and it will be tossed up just left over the centre circle. Sydney Uni leading this one early. They've kicked one straight, and that's the only score we've had in the opening 8 minutes.
That was Hardy. Got tackled there. Well done by Tagliabue. Got it down to O'Brien. It looked like a little bit of a dinky left foot kick. Went nowhere. The students will come up with it though. It'll be back to O'Brien. Just feigns a handball, then comes back inside. Dodgy kick though. And that doesn't work out for them. And it was Reid Stevens imparting his body on the contest. They go long now. And that is Martin with the ball inside forward 50. Carr, he just overran it. And Carr will go again. He just feeds it back full foot. Has his kick smothered by Barton. So Canberra, they keep pressing, but the pressure's good from Uni. And the ball eventually ends up with Mitch Hardy. The tackle came from the late in Josh Burke. And it was a poor kick by O'Brien back in the middle of the ground to get the ball inside forward 50.
Terrible choice to go back to a stoppage. Usually if you go backwards, you find a free player or you kick it long up the line to a contest, try and get a boundary thrown. So it's thrown in, Canberra in attack. Taylor there, ducks a tackle, have to get rid of it. Did so just. Maguire, kick smothered. He's taken to ground by Tagliabue. Wouldn't want to be on the other end of a tackle from him. As Sydney Uni, they get a clearing kick. Bounced in front of Derricks, over his head. Here's Canberra with numbers. Working the handball back was Baker. He went to Smout. And he goes short up the corridor. Player all alone. Heard footsteps, dropped the mark. That's Hebron doing the tackling. Ball at ground level. Handball came to House. As they work the handball here, Uni. Martin this time. His kick's turned over. Uni with all the numbers across half back early on. As the kick goes high and long. Young the target. 1 on 3. Great use of the body. Young goes out the back. Should pick it up. Got a bit of time to work back around. Flick the handball out the back to Bonnie. Bonnie around the body. And he is missed. Opportunity begging there, Kanga.
Well, it's a bad miss in the context of it, because Tom Young did all the bullocking work, shrugged the tackle off and got it out to the free Bonnie, and not to be. So 1-1-7. We've played 12 and a quarter minutes of this first quarter. Canberra bring it back in. They'll go to the outer side. Yet again, Pake is the target, but the big fist before it got there came from Highmore, and it'll go out of bounds. Just in front of the I Love Blacktown sign. Here we are, of course, at the Blacktown International Sports Park, or the BISP, for this elimination final, the 2018 Tribal Sport NEFL Final Series.
So ball tossed in again. Tagliabue got to the front of it easy. Worked it down to Bartholomeus. He'll work the handball out wide to Barton. Got a bit of time out there on the flank as he works it inboard now. Bonnie the target, but a 2-on-1 situation sees Stevens take a relatively easy mark. So Stevens at half-back for the Demons. Called to go now. Just goes long up the wing as you'd expect them to do all afternoon here at Blacktown. Canberra with numbers. Just found the handle on it as it came back to Stevens, who kept running. He gets it, kicks it long. 1-on-1 situation. Chance here for the Demons. Ball bounces not in the favour of the target as it came out to Carr. Carr should run in and kick their first goal in September. Well done, Harry Carr. And Canberra are on the board.
Well done, wasn't it? I think the Canberra Uni defence just hung off, didn't they? Waiting for something to happen, or instead of showing some intent to defend, they were happy to zone off. And Harry Carr, he was, you know, he loved it. He said, oh, I'm just going to put this in drive and I'm just going to go straight towards goal because, look, we'll see this in the replay in just a moment, I feel, is that he took the ball out of the air and, well, we're not going to see the replay on that one, but he took the ball out of the air and the players just hung off him and just allowed him that open space to be able to just get a good look at an open goal.
You know how I'd describe that play? Reckless abandon. That's exactly what the skipper asked for coming into today. That is what they're doing.
Well, Cade Klemke, he'll be happy with this start. Lucy, he'll get it out of the middle and go with Bird. A towering kick right deep inside forward 50, but just mopping it up back there. That was Highmore. They'll clear it now. Baker goes to the outer side. Vardenega, he can't hang on to it. And the ball just fumbled over the boundary line. 60 metres out from goal, outer side. And it is Sydney Uni attacking. 1 point the difference, and we have played some 12 and a half minutes of this first quarter. Have I got that time right? Has that stopped?
You gave
I
us
thought I said it
You
before.
gave us a time call before, Kanga, of the actual time here in Sydney.
Well done. Well done to me.
So here's Canberra coming out of this stoppage across half-back. There's plenty of space for them to work with as the Demons get it to half-forward again. Good reading of the play by Burke, although he couldn't quite find the footy for Sydney Uni. As Canberra go inboard, Fulford the target, bounced away from him. They should get the clearance here, and they will, Sydney Uni, and they'll work a couple of handballs through midfield where Bird was waiting.
Well, they just tried to come through the middle. They couldn't do it. Everybody seems to be overrunning this ball, so it's obviously reasonably hot around there. The ball cleared by Baker for Canberra. Fulford just tries to tap it forward, gets it off. Good work, Vardenega. Malign, he's almost dispossessed. Spinning out of one was Fulford. Kicks it long. It'll be a good goal if it gets there, but it's offline, unfortunately, for the Demons. And scores level. And I'll see if I can read the timing right. So 13 and a half minutes gone in the first quarter. As I mentioned, scores level.
Good play again from Canberra Uni. Canberra.
Well, they've just showed some real intent up forward to try and take the game on, haven't they?
That's what they were asked to do coming into today. Just go forward at any expense. So Sydney Uni, they work the footy up this broadcast side. Reinhard, the target, couldn't mark. Went back and got it off the bounce. He'll work the handball well. Great experience as it comes back inboard. Potter was waiting. Bit of pressure came towards him. Bird backwards to go forwards. McFadden kick up the line is just misses touch. And it's out of bounds on the full, where Martin will take the free kick.
So Sam Martin, formerly in the SANFL with Woodville West Torrens. Very reliable half-back for the Demons. Kicks it to half-forward. Over the back of the contest. Hebron tries to get back onto it. Team of the year in the back pocket. You just chip it, middle of the ground. It's not a bad conveyance. It finds Stevenson. In the middle now. That goes through Bartholomeus. He's wrapped up. And it's a high tackle just straight after. That good amount of pressure and coming up with the ball will be Jared Osborne.
So fresh legs Powell was the target if the footy came over the top to him, but good use of the body by Smout. Went backwards to Richardson, just kicked it high inside 50, wants a mark. Ball fisted away, comes to ground level. Maguire picked it up, flicked the handball off, then the footy goes inside. Beautiful kick, but mark was spilled. Out to Vanguard, bouncing footy there. Canberra, I thought they nearly had their second, just bounced the wrong side of the stick. It bounced into the stick.
What about the pickup from Maguire? That was an absolute beauty to give the handball off to Hardy. The students bring it up the middle. A little poking ball just finds Stevenson, just looking for options. Decides to go to the outer side now. Contest, and well done there. Just chiming in nicely was Tristan Davies from Williamstown. And that kick is not as good. He kicked it straight to an opponent. The kick from Canberra was touched, so it's play on again. There, going through there was Bud. And now with Bruce, he just lines it up. And as soon as he kicked it, he was trying to will it back to the right as much as anything else because he knew it was offline. And Canberra, they're in front.
Few options, though. Gone begging. Couple of gettable goals. As the kick comes in, Hebron marks, goes further afield. Beautiful kick in the end. It should let go to Foster. Went away from him. Canberra's pressure in this first quarter has been outstanding. As they push forward again, Smout, he's really been the general in that half-forward position today, and he'll get 50 here for a protected zone. And Smout should go back and give Canberra an 8-point lead.
Well, the pressure's been excellent. And the way they've gone about it, they've showed no real signs of nerves. Sydney Uni obviously kicked that first goal, but they've responded. And just to give you an idea, as we wait for this kick to be set, inside 50s Canberra's way, 11-6, despite hit-outs, 11-1 Sydney Uni's way, and clearances 8-3. So if they fix up the middle, Canberra are right in this game.
So Smout, pretty much point blank. Bit of a stutter in his approach. Drop punt on the way, made the goal umpire work, and geez, I've cursed him. I'm so sorry, Demons fans.
The commentator's curse. It bites hard. Always leaves a bit of egg on the face when you think that they should kick a goal. And realistically, sides need to take advantage of opportunities, don't they? So the kick in will come. And up the middle. The man with the ball is Potter. On that left foot, goes out towards Barton. He just tried to tap it on. I'm not sure why. He had a loose man, but then Martin can clean it up for Canberra. The kick will come back in the middle of the ground. It's Smout, asked to play on now. Just eludes O'Brien, now gives it to Bruce. Bruce just kicks it high, looking for a big target there. Pake is there, or Stevens there, at ground levels. Carr, he's got a little bit of time, but then he was just wrapped up. He took too much of it, and McFadden it was that was there to dispossess and win the free kick.
He had Owen Orban there, but just couldn't quite get it out, as you said there, Kanga. So another opportunity for Canberra goes begging. Kicked 1 goal for. Big high fly and People's Fist came from Davies, and it'll be tossed in. Canberra in attack. Just about 18 minutes gone.
Well, 1-4 realistically should be, you'd say, 3-2 at the very least. So Canberra, they're really pressing here, but they just can't ram anything home on the scoreboard in these early stages of this game. Elimination final. Pake to the back. He's might have done a bit of damage to his finger. He's going to play on though. Ball spoiled in the middle of the ground. Smout's there. He'll pick it up. Just get the quick kick away. Well done to him. And it finds Owen Orban. So the hyphen. Cohen, O'Connor, Owen Orban. Part of the Swans Academy. Originally from Pennant Hills.
Hasn't kicked a goal this season, Kanga, in his 9 appearances for the Demons. So he'll love this one.
I think he'll love it. I think the Canberra faithful will love it. Lines it up from 55. It's a fair old roost. Well done to Connor Owen Orban. His first for season 2018. And it extends the Canberra Demons margin to 2-4-16. Sydney Uni 1-1-7. That was a fair old hoof that the young man showed. I think
we'll see it on the Tribal Sports replay here. Just put it on his right boot outside 50. That would have felt like hitting a drive 250k. House of celebration as well. He loved it. Just waited for the boys to get around him. And, geez, Sydney Uni have a bit of work to do in the shadows of quarter time.
And just to give you some context, before the game, you mentioned that the breeze was actually going the other way a little bit. So I'm suggesting it's either dropped or that is just an enormous kick in its own right.
So footy pinged into the turf in the middle of Blacktown International Sports Park. Can Canberra get another one before quarter time? They've got possession at the moment. Through traffic, Mellon inside 50, bounces in the middle of 7 or 8 players. None of them wanted it. Owen Orban, rather. He flicked it out wide as the kick came in, and it goes out of play there where Hebron couldn't quite find the handle on it for Sydney Uni.
So just a couple of quick stats there. So Smout has 8 for Canberra and 5 to Malign and also Bruce, while Craig Bird, he has 7 for them, and McFadden, he has 6. So they're the leading possession getters. Away we go again. Tagliabue got down front spot, so they'll get another clearance. They just can't get it away. That was Dimery. His kick's wasted. Finds Highmore. He gives it to Malign, so they're attacking in ascending number. And by the next ascending number, it gives it to Guy Richardson. So ascending in jumper number order.
I'm with you. Now, Richardson, he's an interesting case. Him and Riley Budd coming into today. They've only played one game for Canberra, each of them. They came in last week, but both of them plenty of NEFL experience. Richardson, who's having the shot, 8 games for the Giants this year.
So Owen Orban set the trend from this kick, and then Richardson, he follows suit. That's 3 for the Demons, and they move to 3-4-22. Sydney University 1-1-7, and the general play has been dominated by Canberra Demons, but Sydney Uni have controlled it around the stoppages and hit-outs. So it's just that enthusiasm around the contest. It's creating what Canberra are delivering at the moment, which is a 15-point lead, as we see on the Tribal Sports replay. The lovely kick, the true kick of Guy Richardson.
You can tell a team on by the celebration, and every player on the Canberra Demons lineup then went and gave Richardson a pat on the head after that goal. They did it as well after the other goal, so they're in form. So it's tossed up in the middle again. O'Brien should lead in the race to it. Snapped it around the body. High hit and hope. Hiscock's the target, but it's cut off again. So Canberra really dominating the centre corridor, or the middle part of the ground, as the kick goes high and forward to half forward. Big pack of players fly. Ball spilled at ground level. Bird was there for Sydney Uni. Went without it. Bruce too. Goes back in under a pack, and it will be tossed up half forward for Canberra.
I think Tom Morrison, the coach of Sydney University, I think he's going to have to make some slight adjustments at quarter time to the structures, because they're being outpointed around the ground and they seem to have more numbers, Sydney Uni. O'Brien gets it away. Sydney Uni go down the outer side. Well on there by Klimke, and just a good courage. Howells gets it off to Richardson. Just feeds the ball over the top. Here's one of the goal kickers in Owen Orban. Gets it to half forward now, or inside forward 50 even further. The target there was Vardeniga. Now he gets it at ground level, feeds it back. Taylor, Maguire, and now off to Malign. Just rolls it in. It was touched off the boot, though. In the effects, Mike, you could just hear that umpire call touched. So it was nearly, we say nearly, but nearly a big extension of the lead. Instead, it's only 16 points the margin now.
So Sydney Uni, they'll be desperate to get to quarter time. Short kick. Just travelled the 15 to Hiscox. The Glebe Greyhound, he takes off. Underground sort of kick. It was poor. It's turned over. Maguire went and picked it up. He's got so much time and space, which he really shouldn't. A player of his skill. Bruce couldn't find the kick from Maguire, and it will be tossed in.
Well, it was a poor kick from Hiscox, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, a player of his standard should be able to hit targets better than that. And Maguire, his kick, I think, had great purpose and only just missed the target. And that could have set up a real viable scoring chance for Aaron Bruce again. Ball back into play. Tagliabue pushed off it by Richards, and now the free kick is paid. I thought for a moment he's going to put the ball down, so that'll be 50 as well. That'll go against Mitch Maguire. So the NEFL Rising Star for 2018 gives away a really undisciplined 50-metre penalty for mine.
Couldn't agree more. Sirakowski then just had a bit of space, probably led too early as O'Brien got the kick to Young. Here's a chance for the students inside 50. Big pack of players from behind. Derricks flew. Mark not paid. He'll have to play on. Snap around the body. Goal. Great work there from Sydney Uni to get one back. Bit of undisciplined by the Demons at halfback. Gave away the 50. Derricks the Flyers, we'll see on the Tribal Sports replay, but it's back to 10 points.
Well, we saw Derricks. He just... I had the binoculars on him as that ball came in. Just the loss of body contact by the Canberra Demons defence there on Derricks just allowed him to come over the back of the pack and pluck it. And whilst the umpire called touch, he just had enough time and space to steady and just shoot for goal and kick truly. So well done to Sydney Uni there, but again, can't help but focus on Mitch Maguire's really undisciplined 50, just putting the ball on the ground after he knew the free kick had gone against his side. Need to be a little bit smarter than that as we go along.
So tossed up again in the middle. Richards, I guess he won that one down, but the clearance will again go the way of the students. Bartholomeus, his handball missed its target. Dimery had to go back and pick it up, flicked it back. Sydney Uni working forward now. It'll work out well. Here's O'Brien, talented young player, goes back towards the corridor. Why wouldn't you? Beautiful kick. It's marked there by Louis Stevenson inside 50. There's a Canberra player down as Bonnie tried to just corral the ball in front of him. And the Demons have number across half back as they'll Harrison Carr just in space now. He gets his kick away through the middle and chance to reload for the Demons.
This is Aaron Bruce in one of the circles, the outer circle if you like. Deep inside forward 50, full foot flew high. The ball at ground level. It goes and hits the post. The kick was from Mitch Hardy. And I thought, gee, that was exciting play from the Demons there. Fulford was forced to fly, the little man, and Hardy at ground level nearly set it alight.
So short kick in, Dimery. Couple of missed opportunities again for the Demons. Two posters in this opening quarter as Dimery's kick comes to the broadcast side. Big fly from behind. Mark spilled by Davies, but it doesn't matter for Uni. Tagliabue's got it with a bit of space. His handball interesting to Hiscox. Missed him, in fact. Demons with numbers. Osborne back inboard. Mellon as the Demons go forward again. Hardy underneath it. Chance to make amends. Probably a bit too far out. So he'll go the short option, and why not? And Carr marks unopposed and should have no problems for distance. Just accuracy from this pocket, Kanga.
Well, it was the missed handball of Tagliabue which allowed Osborne to come through and take the ball, put it back the other way, and now it ends up with Carr.
So Carr has had a couple of opportunities inside 50 today. He's kicked one on the right boot. Drop Hunt bends left to right, and it misses the lot. Pretty disappointing kick there. Maybe should have centred to the top of the goal square.
Yeah, I think so. And I think sometimes we get a rush of blood when you're young and you're in your first final series at senior level. And Harrison Carr need to play the percentages a little more. Ball comes back in. Pack goes to ground. Maguire gets it off to Osborne and just starts it right. It finishes right as he went for goal. So they extend the margin. It's 2 straight goals now, or 12 points is the margin. But Canberra, they kicked 3-7.
A lot of gettable goals there. We've mentioned it all morning, Kanga, as the kick comes in. Foster across half back. Has a look forward. Aaron Day was on in the middle, but he's now marked up. So he'll have to just kick it laterally where Burke was waiting. Late inclusion today. If you've just joined us on NEFL TV, our broadcast partner Bar TV, bringing you the pictures. As it's Sydney Uni deep in their defence. Hiscox has got it. Elected to handball this time to Hebron. Advantage paid. And the mark is taken by Bonnie.
Bonnie at half back. Just off the one step. Roos it down the line. And that kick wasn't a good one. And it was Highmore that picks it up. And they go quickly. Baker ends up with it. Got it from Maguire. Inside forward 50. Hits ground. Malign gives a quick one off to Paik. Paik to Fulford. Nobody there. So he runs in and gives it some. Puts it over the net. Puts it over the fence. Puts it on the road out the back. An emphatic fashion as the Demons. They kick away to an 18-point lead. And again, another turnover. Canberra hurting Sydney Uni on that basis.
Reckless abandon through the midfield, isn't it? The second they get it on the Tribal Sports replay screen, have a look at them line up. There's no one on them. And just marching into the easiest of goals. It went into incoming traffic, Kanga. They're kicking away, Canberra. A lot of work for Sydney Uni to do at quarter time.
Well, I think they need to just be more accountable in defence in terms of have a bit of look and feel. Don't zone off on your opponent. And the other one is just to make sure they've got to ride up or fix up their turnovers. O'Brien, he's tackling the middle. Turnover again. Paik. Smout is there. He's got the run of it. Lucy does well. Shows good enthusiasm and then wins the free kick for a push in the back on his defensive 50.
I like that, moving Lucy onto the ball and just getting him a touch. He hasn't had a lot on it. Usually a pretty high possession winner. So he goes short to Barkley. He's rushed his kick as it bounced into the hands of Louis Stevenson. Over the top, O'Brien. He's in trouble. Ball spills free. Chance again for the Demons going forward. They're lining up at half forward. High hit and hope. Fulford the target. Back with the flight. Bruce couldn't mark. Could he?
Yes,
he
does.
Super courageous from the skipper, Aaron Bruce. Back with the flight to mark at the tip of the goal square. Didn't have to put his body on the line, and Canberra will kick their 5th goal for the quarter.
Well, what about the run of Aaron Bruce? It was coming over his head. I think for a moment he didn't even believe he was going to get there. And then for a moment he looked up at the last second to see where he was in proximity to the ball. And he realised, I've got it. And the contact came, but he held on beautifully.
So Bruce comes in. 24 goals for the season. This for number 25. Drop punt on the way. Doesn't miss that one. It's onto the road. Canberra have 5 in the opening quarter. 5 in their opening quarter of finals football in the NEFL.
Well, for me, this is a surprise. Canberra haven't played wonderfully the last month of footy, but that real enthusiasm, the way they've gone about it, is to be thoroughly commended. This 2018 Tribal Sport NEFL Final Series is off to a flyer as far as I'm concerned, because Canberra have come to play. Sydney Uni, they really need to fix up a little bit of their structure and also their work by foot, particularly in terms of missing targets. And this is great stuff by the Demons. 24 points up. They're approaching quarter time.
So 32 minutes gone. A 4-goal lead. There's a hold here, and it will go the way of Canberra. So, geez, if they get another one here, and there every chance, there's no one standing the mark. Taylor inside 50, wants a mark, needs a mark. Ball fisted away, Siren beats them. And at quarter time here at Blacktown International Sports Park, Canberra are leading Sydney Uni by 24 points, 5-7-37 to 2-1-13.
Well, as I mentioned before, it was a great opening quarter, particularly for the Demons. If you're a Demons fan, I'm sure there's plenty watching on our NEFL TV broadcast, thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. They have had the lion's share of football, 107 possessions to 86 for Sydney University. This is despite the fact that Uni lead the hitouts 15-5 and the clearances also 15-5. But inside 50s at work around the ground has seen Canberra have 24 inside 50s in the first quarter to Sydney Uni just 8. That is staggering. The differentials between hitouts and clearances as opposed to inside 50s, Eddie.
Not wrong at all. We've seen Canberra. They've been playing a manic brand of football. Play on, kick it long, get it inside 50. Let's see what happens. Sydney Uni haven't had the possession that they would have liked to play that slow build-up game of footy to look for their targets inside 50.
So just goal kickers quickly for Canberra. I think I might be missing one. No, I think I've got them all. It's Aaron Bruce, Connor Owen Auburn, Ben Fulford, Guy Richardson and Harry Carr. All singles for the Canberra Demons. And singles for Sydney University, it's Austin Lucy. He kicked the first goal of the game. And Jacob Derricks. At quarter time here at Blacktown International Sports Park, it is Canberra Demons. They are leading Sydney University by 24 points. We'll be back with after a little break, as I think some stern words from Sydney University and some real backslapping from the Canberra Demons. as Sydney University are getting the right old pep talk from Tom Morrison. And rightly so. Quarter time, they've been ambushed in this first elimination final in the 2018 Tribal Sport NEFL Finals Series out here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It was Canberra. They got away to a flyer. 5-7-37. Sydney University 2-1-13. Mark Kennedy's my name. I'm joined and somewhat jointly stunned by Eddie Summerfield. And Eddie, that was a manic and impressive opening from Canberra Demons.
They just got the ball, kicked the ball long, got it inside 50. Pretty simple game, this Aussie Rules caper, Kanga. Get it inside 50, kick goals. They missed a few they should have got, but they're leading this one by an even 4 goals.
And we're underway again. Tagliabue, he got the hit out. They've dominated those. Smothered was Malign. Over the top of it is Osborne. Bonnie feeds it back. It'll end up coming right back there. And that was McFadden. Ball inside forward 50, but Young is outpointed on this occasion. And it's by the captain coach, or I shouldn't call him the captain coach, the playing coach in Cade Klemke.
So he goes to half forward. Bartholomeus, good use of the body. Rising star nom in round 14 of this season. As Canberra, they've got numbers here, but Bartholomeus got it back, flicked it to Bird. Bird with a bit of space, put it inside 50, wants a mark, but it'll be turned over again. Canberra with numbers, mark taken by Highmore this time. Short handball, Martin running through half-back. Good-looking kick over the top, but it will bounce in front of the intended target. Tagliabue got the handball backwards for Sydney Uni. High kick to half-forward. Chance here for Uni. Derrick's there. Couldn't quite find the handle on it. It's pashed away from him out of play where it will be tossed in. Uni in attack.
Well, the quarterback of Canberra's defence is Sam Martin. You see him just trying to run and get free all the time. I love him with the ball in their hand, but good work there by Highmore as well. He's been very resolute at half-back so far. Ball back into play. Tagliabue again just hits it. The advantage of McFadden. Couldn't take it with him. Pake's there. Gets it back to Malign. Unable to handle it there. It was Osborne. He'll not be able to keep it in as Bird applied the pressure. So we're going to have another throw in on that outer side. Half-back flank. Canberra, this quarter, they're kicking to the left of your screen. And Sydney Uni, they're kicking up to the right, where Canberra kicked 5 goals in that first quarter up that right end.
So he got himself to front position for Canberra. Bartholomeus bent over, picked it up, did well, wrapped up in a tackle, and it'll be tossed up between half forward and the wing. You'd think the message at quarter time for Sydney Uni was to try and slow it down, try and regain possession, look for your teammates and work the footy inside 50. And they've done that in these early stages of this quarter as the kick goes out wide and it will be tossed in again.
Well, that was Sirakowski that smothered that kick from Richardson. They'll need more from the likes of the experienced Will Sirakowski. Just the 2 disposals in that first quarter. Ball back into play again. Front spot Pake on that occasion. Bird, he wins the clearance again. Hiscox, he'll just run onto it. A little bit sloppy, but they'll come away, will they? No, the kick's not perfect. Tagliabue wrapped up by Pake. And he is not gone. And the umpire says, no, I will throw that one up right on the point of the square here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Well, the bisp as it's thrown up. Uni with numbers. Bonnie, high kick to Hufford. Young, second man back. But in front, Mark spilled, or is it going to be paid to Highmore? It eventually is. So he'll go short laterally. And Canberra, again, they have a look up and Uni have marked off well. Not a free player, so he'll kick it long to a contest. From behind, Hebron there. Big fly. Tagliabue couldn't mark. Ball at ground level. Pake there. Flicked a handball over his head. Just a hit and hope. Osborne there too for Canberra. And it will be tossed up on the Uni half-forward line.
I like that matchup. Highmore and Davies, both good athletes. And again, Stevenson looking for Bird. Couldn't take it away, but Smout can for the Demons. Goes out wide. Bruce forced to spoil as Day took front spot. And that spoil went over the boundary line. So on the outer wing, we have a throw-in yet again.
I really like this setup, Kanga, from Canberra. They've got a paddock in their forward 50, not a player there. The footy's on centre wing, and we saw their goals in the first quarter. They were all running forward. every single one of them, and this is what they're set up for again, as the Demons work it inside 50. Just 2 players there. It goes their direction, then bounces on the weird end, off the ground by Fulford. Couldn't quite find a teammate. The skipper for Uni there, Barton, did well as it came back to him. He's got a bit of time and space, so he elects to take a bounce. He could probably take 2, elects not to, where Bonnie was in the middle. Works it back to Hiscox. Hiscox up to half forward. The target there, Lucy. Marks unopposed. Has a look inside 50. He's got a couple of targets. Davies out the back will fly. It's 2-on-1 situation. Good use of the body. Ball at ground level. Canberra with numbers, and it will be tossed up. Transition of play there, Kanga from Uni. Best we've seen all day.
Yeah, I believe you're right there. I need more of that just to try and get some one-on-one contests as Canberra try and push back into defence. It was Stevenson off the ground. He put it right to the line, and trying to claim it there was Foster. And the umpire's conferring, so Foster went off the ground. Goal umpire, I believe, signalled she thought it was touched. And it's hard to believe it'll be overthrown like that. In fact, it will.
So the field umpire there, we're having a look on the Tribal Sports replay screen. He just said there was a bit of a scorpion kick about it when the player dove through. Here we go. Kicked off the ground beautifully by Foster. So he flicks his heel around the back of his leg to kick the goal. Have a look at it, just there. Outstandingly smart from Sydney Uni. Great pickup from the field umpire. Overruled the goal umpire because she was blindsided. She was on the right side to make the decision, but just on that occasion couldn't quite see it, and beautiful work there from Foster.
I'm not convinced personally.
Oh, Kanga, get on.
What I probably throw up as an objection is whether it actually ricocheted off the Canberra Demons player's leg that was very close by. Anyway, it matters not because eventually it's a goal and we're back to 18 points. And we're underway again in the middle. Tagliabue. That's the advantage, but it goes Canberra's way in terms of bouncing and rolling. Tackle by Richards on O'Brien and also Maguire.
Sort of passage like that, play like that, Kanga, where you get a goal which on other days you might not get, can really lift you when you're 4 goals down. So they're now 3 goals down. Let's see what it does for Sydney Uni, as we'll have a secondary stoppage. So the umpire will grab it yet again. Just give himself a little bit of space. Throws it up. Richards and Tagliabue give it to the latter. Stevenson comes through. Inside forward 50, Derricks, but he's outpointed there by Howells. It was touched, so play on is the call. Didn't have any time to get rid of it, so never going to be holding the ball as the Sydney Uni players were asking for. Ball up just inside forward 50. So can Uni string a couple together? It's tossed up. Tagliabue did well again. The Demons with numbers though. Oh, big tackle there laid on McFadden. And it will be tossed up once again, pretty much on the same blade of grass as it was a moment ago. It was by Richards. Little baby Huey gets into the action. Richards again. Throws it up. Stevenson in underneath there. Dimmery on the left foot. Just puts it up high. Over the top of Klimke and also Young. Potter's there. The ball was out of bounds and will be thrown in. So tense. You can suggest that Sydney Uni have probably made a few changes, and Stevenson now spending some time in the middle of the ground, starting to ride up, I suppose, a few of those wrongs that occurred in their eyes, structure-wise, at quarter time. You can see they're marked up very tightly on all of their opponents as it tossed in again, flicked over the back, looking for McFadden, but Canberra, they've got numbers again. Smart use by Smout, although he's going to turn it straight over. Could be one high. Umpire says, nope, let's throw it in. There's a bit of push and shove going on in the forward pocket for Sydney Uni. No surprise that Damien Bonnie was around the place. Ball thrown back in. Tagliabue. There's Bonnie. O'Brien. And he's manhandled by a couple of Demons. We'll have a ball up again. So, plenty of players around the contest. Tagliabue. Richards went for the free kick. Osborne couldn't clear it, has his kick smothered. Richards partially smothered as well. Smout, dangerous handball, only ends up with Bonnie. Try to get it to Dimmery.
And he was set on by Owen Orban. Ball just out in the arms of Young, but he was going nowhere as the umpire will ball it up yet again 30 metres out from Uni's goal.
Tossed up pretty quickly by the umpire. Tagliabue, well, you could say he won it down. McFadden lurking for Students. Young there too. As the Demons, they get it out to Maguire in a bit of space. He'll use the footy up half back, but he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Usually a good user of the footy, Kanga. Here's Mitch Maguire, but the Tribal Sports Rising Star winner for the 2018 season on that occasion just misses everything. So Uni inside 50 again. Big pack of players fly. Davies the flyer, it missed him. Klemke there, kicked, was rushed. Here's Hiscox, flicked the handball back. Good smart use, snap around the body, hits the woodwork. And Stevenson missing an opportunity there.
Well, it was an opportunity, wasn't it? And they need to take their opportunities. I'll say took that opportunity to clear my throat. Choking on this result so far. Martin. It is unexpected. I think everybody expected Uni to take charge. Richards gets it out, but only finds Stevenson. Little dinky kick, can't find a target. Canberra, they'll try and mop up here. Chain of handballs. Ends up with Maguire, who in turn gets it out to Taylor. So now there's a free bit of space. Out of sight, there's a free kick.
Oh.
And it's going back the other way.
It's going to go the way of Derricks there at half forward. Sorry, it might be O'Brien, in fact.
So it suggests that there might have been an illegal shepherd on O'Brien, right at forward 50.
So O'Brien plays on now. He goes long. Derricks is the target, as is Davies. Ball spilled at ground level. Here's Bonnie charging through, kicks a goal. Great crumbing work from Damien Bonnie. Just came charging through. And Uni have suddenly got 2 goals in a row for the first time of the game. So we have a look to the Tribal Sports replay. And at front and centre, you'll see Bonnie in screen here. Pack of players fly. Bonnie charging through front and centre. Coach's orders. And he's got his first this afternoon.
Well, Klemke just fell over at the wrong time there. And by the time he picked up his body and got there, Bonnie was gone. And Bonnie... not afraid to let him know about it either. Pretty happy with that. So the margin back to 11 points. Sydney Uni, after 11 and a half minutes of this second quarter, have done all the scoring. They've kicked 2-1. And Canberra haven't been able to extend themselves on the scoreboard from their quarter time score. Pake was Lucy in the ruck there for Sydney Uni, so Tagliabue having a bit of a rest. McFadden, Lucy follows up his ruck work, just flicks the ball out the back, ends up with Owen Orban, just tries to put it in the path of Klemke. Under pressure he is from Bartholomeus, and the ball out of bounds. So really been ramped up of Sydney University after being stung at quarter time, or in that first quarter, by the Demons and then by their coach at quarter time, I'd suggest.
So the Demons, it was a manic style of football in that first quarter. Lots of hard running. You'd hope they haven't tired in this second quarter. It is a warm day by Canberra standards as it came down to Bird. Flicked the handball to Young, but the umpire thought it was a throw. Probably fair enough too. So the Demons just looking up. They haven't really managed to get it past the centre circle more than a couple of times this quarter. Carr the target. Hebron flew from behind. Lucy there too. Dimery flicked a handball back, then he got it on hands and knees, goes back to Bartholomeus, through traffic, found Bird. Those two have linked up a lot today. Got his kick up after he was bashed to ground. Powell there for Canberra. How will this footy bounce? Came back to Powell, flicks the handball off to his running teammate Baker. That's Angus. High kick and hope to space, clearing the centre circle. It'll bounce in front of Martin. He's got pace to beat Barton here, does Martin, as he looks for the boundary line. Barton, though, keeps it in for Sydney Uni. Did well. The skipper up the ground. Davies the target, punched away from him. So the Demons will have another chance to go forward. Wayward handball. The Glebe Greyhound picks it up. He caught the rabbit and goes out of play.
So probably a good stalemate there for Canberra then. I thought Sam Martin was going to be away, but it was good work there by Goulden.
Goulden, apologies.
There. So ball back into play, Lucy in the ruck, and give that one to Pake. And emerging from the pack there is Bird. And Bird is the word as he gets it in the middle of the ground. Bartholomeus, he's wrapped up 360. Surely that's gone. No, it isn't. Hiscox tries to give it to Lucy. Unsuccessfully. They were courting, but wasn't to be. Potter, he's wrapped up. And we'll have a ball up just inside forward 50.
Couldn't have paid any of them. If you miss one, miss them all as it's tossed up. Uni inside there, forward 50. Taylor rushed his kick. Now the Uni have numbers. Handball came back looking for O'Brien. Shrugged off 3 tackles. Then he's pinged, holding the footy. Should have opted with the first handball. But instead the Demons, as they work out who'll take the kick. And it will be Hardy. So he goes short. And the Demons just slowing play down.
Went wide. Lucas Malign is down the line. Bit of rhyming slang there. One on there by McFadden. Couldn't find Goulden with the handball though. The ball rolls harmlessly out of play. So the margin, 11 points. We played 15 minutes of this second quarter. Canberra, they lead. And we'll see what Canberra can do to get on the board this second quarter. Lucy at ground level. McFadden, he was going nowhere, so he's gone. And Mitch Hardy made the team of the year, the NEFL team of the year. He wins the free kick. Half forward, out of sight, point of the square. Down deep it goes. And Bruce had plenty to beat, and he kicks it straight to a man who made the team of the year also in defence this time in Ryan Hebron.
So Hebron has a look forward. Not much to kick to, really. So you'll just go long. Good kick in the end and good mark taken. So Uni are away here. Short kick over the top. Found Potter. Put it on his left boot to half forward. And they've linked up beautifully again as Reinhard takes the mark. Too far out to score. Looks over the top. Derek's the target on the lead. Fisted away from him. Ball goes boundary side. Derek's pressure was good. Canberra have the extra player here as they get a clearing kick out of defence. Stumbling over it was Taylor. Still with numbers though, the Demons, and they should be able to clear it out of defence. Long high kick. Carr the target. Hebron, good use of the body and good mark. Takes it going back with the flight.
And they'll just try and transfer the ball. It'll come across to Barkley. So Uni, let's try and mop this through the middle to mop up this lead that Canberra have at the moment. Barton it is at half back. Little short one. It's out to McFadden. Highly rated youngster. Good player. Goes backwards and goes back to Barkley. So they, from where they were, gives it to Burke. Now across, they'll try and work it across now. Bartholomeus, little chipping ball close to the line. Out of bounds on the full is the call.
Ooh.
And Nick Foster was the man just trying to keep it and disguise it like it stayed in, not to be. Cade Klimke is the man for the Demons who'll have the kick.
So the coach put it on his right boot to a contest. Hanging out the back, Barton got the fist inboard. Lucy the target. He got it, tried to flick a handball to Bird, got it back, fell on his hands, could have been pushed in the back. Umpire says, give it to me. So a chance here for Canberra. They haven't scored this quarter. Been playing close to 20 minutes. Sydney Uni, if you've just joined us on NEFL TV, they've banged on 2. Tossed up, Bird flicked the handball out to Bartholomeus. In a bit of space, goes back inboard. Why not? Hiscox tripped over his own shadow. Footy comes backwards. Lucy there. He lost the footy, dropped it. Umpire called play on. Handball came the way of Richards. He got a handball off as the footy goes inside 50. The target there, Pake, couldn't mark, kept it in front of him well. But Uni, they got a 3-on-2 situation. Canberra will want the boundary line and they find it in front of the scoreboard, which shows that the Demons leading this one by 11 points.
Gee, they've been towed up in these hit-outs and clearances. 24-11. Sydney Uni well on top, but inside 50s, 27-19. Ball back into play. Unable to emerge with it was O'Brien. Maguire, he's wrapped up as well. Lucy, his handball doesn't hit the target. Hardy tried to come through, couldn't do so. The kick there from Smout, up and under, right in the goal square. Fulford, he's wrapped up by Hebron. Looks very dangerous when he's around the ball and it's at ground level, Fulford. And that occasion he couldn't impart anything onto the scoreboard. The ball will be thrown up close to goal.
So Canberra, they're desperate just to stop the bleeding a little bit. Lead it by 11. Tap out 1 through traffic. That was very nice by Smout. Round the body. Touched on the goal line. Beautiful stuff by Smout then in the stoppage. Just touched on the line. So they hit the scoreboard. Kick in comes in. And the runner, I think, was inside forward 50 for Canberra. So there'll be a 50-metre penalty. And the free kick will be taken by
In fact, it's going the other way because the Uni runner was inside, so it'll be Canberra's free kick at centre half forward. Man with the ball is Mitch Hardy. Lobs it up, just looking for a target. Pakes there at the back. Well on there by Tagliabue, pushed back. Big Richards was there. He was tackled immediately. Player on the ground for Sydney Uni as Dimmery looking sore. And then Powell. He just rammed his opponent into the ground with a tackle for good measure.
Tossed up again. Lucy doing the ruck work as it's bashed down towards Smout. Couldn't find a possession this time, and it will be tossed in. Bit of push and shove still going on out there. Jack Powell involved.
Now, I know that Sydney Uni have come hard, but I just sense that Canberra's certainly up for the dig in, especially around these the tackling and the real veracity and the ferocity around the contest. And go again. Overrunning it there was Maguire on that occasion. Powell couldn't get a foot to it while he was tackled. And there's plenty of demons on top of the lone Sydney Uni player who's underneath it there. Might be Dimmery, is it? Or no? It's... Man is getting up his Austin Lucy, and it's a blood rule. A little bit of claret coming from the beak of Sam Barkley, the boy from North Shore. So we'll have a moment here while he covers himself up and gets a replacement on the ground.
Good bit of chatter going on out there. Fulford and Zach O'Brien involved in it. So I haven't seen a lot of this game with Canberra with repeat attempts inside 50s. It's tossed up. Richards and Tagliabue, the ruckman. Tagliabue won it down. Canberra player was tossed off the footy. Bonnie, the target, just tapped it over the top. Good pressure there from Canberra to just keep it inside 50. Snap around the body is a good one. It will go high, and courageously going back to take the mark is Bird.
He stood under it nicely. Just perched himself under it. Good punt. Comes out wide. Lucy and also Bud. Bud got the spoil in there, but they'll come away. Dimmery, O'Brien, just slapped off the ball. Bird nicely. Ball bounces for the advantage of Dimmery, and he cops a high one from Baker. And that was Jack Baker. And Dimmery goes in board, finds O'Brien. That's a terrible kick. Might be trouble here. Fulford got Smout out by himself, lines it up and shoots it. A horrendous turnover. That's the second one from Zach O'Brien in this game. And he kicked it in the middle of the field earlier and made a horrible error. And then on this occasion, it was another one, and it ended up on the Tribal Sports replay. We see it. Just missed his target. It was all Fulford got off to Smout, and Smout made no mistake, made them pay, puts the lead back out to 18 points.
It's a beautiful kick of the ball, Smout, isn't he? He's had plenty of it today, and first time inside 50 for him to go back. And Canberra really needed that one. Hadn't kicked a goal in just over 23, 24 minutes of football.
Well, it's really turned the tide. I mean, we saw the scoreboard. It's one thing to just stem it with a goal to really get it underway. As Stevenson's there, he's wrapped up.
But, yeah, Uni, as you're saying there, Kanga, they've absolutely dominated this quarter as it's tossed up again. Peak won it down. There's a free kick here. And it's going to go to Mitch Maguire. Just copped one high, the rising star. Plays on quickly. Why not? His kick, good one. Finds Vanguarde. Hasn't had a lot of it in this second quarter. Had a lot of it early in the game for the D's. He goes long. Can they snare another one here? Big pack of players. Big fly from behind. Not taken. Ball spilled to ground level. Chance here for Canberra again. Powell with it. Snapping around the body. How will it bounce? How will it bounce across the face? And just the minus score for Canberra. extending their lead by a point.
Maguire's been busy. 18 first half disposals, matched by, I might say, Craig Bird. He's also had 18. 17 to Lucas Malign as Sydney Uni to go out to the outer side from the kick in. Sirakoski's the target, goes to ground. Goulden gets it off to Day. Day back to Sirakoski under pressure. They're just making this hard for themselves. Goulden wrapped up by Taylor in a beautiful tackle. I don't think that'll be holding the ball, or it will. I thought he just looked up and he got tackled straight away, but the umpire said you didn't make an attempt. So it was lovely work there by Isaac Taylor. And he'll just settle down as he wants to bring the ball inside forward 50.
And that's exactly what he does. So Taylor called to go now. High drop punt, massive pack of players. It'll spill free out the front. Who's front and centre? Snapping around the body. Looks good from Owen Auburn. Couldn't quite get the distance though. And the Uni, they've got numbers hanging out the back. Potter picks it up, flicks the handball inboard. Now just work it back out wide to Bonnie. Bonnie's got a bit of time, but less than what he thought. Got his kick, rushed, 3-on-1 situation. Courageously back with the flight, the Canberra player. Handball came back from Highmore, and they'll work things out there. Bonnie came charging through. Smout there, could have copped one high from Reinhardt. Umpire let it go on. Chance for Uni through midfield. They'll line up. O'Brien over the top, looking for Young. Coming in off the long run was Highmore. Did well. Spilled out to Martin. He'll want the 1-2, and the Demons will eventually clear half-back, or will they? Highmore taken with it. Handball came backwards again. And this time they get a clearing kick where there's a pack of Demons waiting.
Well, it was clever kick. Vardanega gives it across to Bud. Feeds it over the top to Taylor. Taylor back to Vardanega. Gets around Lucy without a problem. And goes deep inside forward 50, and Day just outpointed Richards there and was touched. So play on is the call. And the kick from Day. Again, it was another poor turnover, and only manages to find Alex Smout. So Smout can go back. This will be 2 in a row for him, and 2 in a row for the Demons if he can convert both from bad turnovers.
Should have seen the look on Smout's face then. He was in shock when the footy landed in his chest.
Comes in, loads up on the left. It's long. I don't think it's got the distance. It hasn't got the journey, and that's a bit poor from Canberra. They should have had somebody there to at least contest, and Sydney Uni can get out of this. It's Foster who took the resultant kick from Day, which was a far better one.
So Foster short, geez, heart skips a beat whenever Uni are going inboard this quarter. Barton, the skipper, beautiful kick as you'd expect. And Uni will look to rebuild through the middle. Young's calling for it. That's ignored. So just waiting for the right option. Eventually comes backwards to Day. Day had to rush it. Eventually came to Young. Back inwards. 3-on-1 situation here, and the one of Canberra wins out. That's Osborne. Ball fisted away. They've still got numbers around the footy here. Owen Auburn went without it. Bartholomeus, he's had a big second quarter. Cops one high or in the back. Take your pick. And he'll take a free kick for Sydney Uni. In the centre square. If
the ball got over the back of Aaron Day, then, Bruce, then they had players streaming in. Goulden through the middle, gives it to Young. Young, forward to centre, trying to measure one up. Derricks is the target, and he takes it. It's hit the ground, says the umpire. So play on is the call. And Bonnie, he reaches, well, for what hair he has receding, and says, umpire, what about that? Not to be. Ball up's the call.
Chance for Uni to get one back here. Came into Bonnie's hands. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Umpire says, give it to me. Let's do it again. So Sydney Uni, they've kicked the 2 goals this quarter. Canberra have managed the single. It is the Demons leading. Potential boil over before quarter time as the Demons look to clear. Martin got a kick to half back. Could have been a high one. Umpire circling. Says, give it to me. High intensity, this first elimination final. Hope you're enjoying it on Neefle TV as it's tossed up again.
Highmore, he's wrapped up straight away. Didn't have advantage or didn't have an opportunity, says the umpire, so they'll come away. The Demons, luckily somewhat for mine. Barton just tries to avoid a couple. Can't get a handball, a clean one away at least. Owen Auburn, he went in hard, as did McFadden. And right there as well is Bartholomeus, and Malign will have a ball up on the wing right in front of us here. Emergency umpire out just to quell a little bit of excitement amongst the troops down Sydney Uni's forward line. McFadden, kick away under pressure. O'Brien doesn't get, it's met solidly in a Shepherd. Ball eventually to Baker, and Baker gets the ball down forward and finds Malign. Malign, long inside forward 50, 2-on-2 contest. Day at the back, Bruce at ground level and kicks another. So Canberra, they skip away yet again, 25-point leaders. The ball inside forward 50. It ended up being a one-on-one. Day had front spot, but just edging him under the ball was Aaron Bruce. Smartly done. Ball hits ground. Bruce stays mobile enough to gather. Kick truly.
There's a whole lot of man with Bruce. The use of his body there, he knew he could beat Day one-on-one. He was calling for it. I think it was still in their back line when he started calling for it, did Bruce.
He sure did. And that tribal sport replay just showed it up wonderfully, the body work of Aaron Bruce.
So, shadows of halftime at Blacktown. Got a great final on our hands. Loser today, season over. Canberra out of the middle again. Maguire the kick, wants a mark. The siren doesn't beat them this time. It's a free kick for a hold. Or too high, take your pick. And Canberra will go back and extend this lead once again.
Well, Tim Barton, he's objecting. He was really unlucky for mine. Didn't think there was that much in it. And Lucas Malign it is, the man with the free kick. Hopefully the tribal sport replay might give us a bit of a look after this, after the kick at goal.
So Malign to extend this lead of what's been a mammoth first half of finals footy for Canberra. Malign in, goal umpire doesn't move, all clear from the central umpire. And the Demons skip away again. Malign his first for the afternoon.
Well, it was a questionable free kick. We might see a little bit more of it here on the tribal sport replay. But the kick itself, in fact, we can't quite go back that far. But Canberra, and we see the kicking style, at least of Lucas Malign. Kicked it low and hard and stayed over the top of it nicely. A good technique from the boy from Leeton Witten.
Tossed up in the middle again. Richards won this one down, but Uni, they'll get the clearance through McFadden. Inside 50. Footy went over the head of Davies. Demons with numbers. I don't want to concede one late in this first half, and they find the friend, their boundary line, where it'll be tossed in.
Well, Sydney Uni, they'll want one now. They're a little way off this. So we are in the shadows of half-time. Tagliabue just tried to hit it to the back, but still managed to find Bird. Has to go around the corner. And only finds Maguire. He's been very good in this first half, the NEFL Rising Star for 2018. Took a couple of bounces, goes on the left. Malign at the back. He got it to the back. Just working back to help back in defence was Goulden. Found Derricks. And at half-time, have we got a boil over on our hands? The Canberra Demons, they currently sit 8-9-57. Sydney Uni 4-2-26. The lead is 31 points at half-time. They've had goals, Canberra. They've had 2 to the captain, Aaron Bruce, and all singles thereafter. Connor Owen Orban, Ben Fulford, Alex Smout, Lucas Malign, Guy Richardson and Harry Carr. And for Sydney University, it's all singles there as well. It is Austin Lucy, Damien Bonney, Jacob Derricks and Nick Foster. How'd you see that first half there, Eddie Summerfield?
Well, Canberra, they dominated that first quarter. They kicked 5 goals, and Sydney Uni, the start of that second quarter, they got momentum back. They got possession back as players from both teams start to leave the field. But then suddenly the Demons, they found the will, they found the way inside their forward kick 50. to kick 3 quick goals. Bruce, outstanding up forward. He's been fantastic today. Fulford as well. But Sydney Uni's fault today, their possession just hasn't been there. So many turnovers. They've affected 2 goals because of that, Kanga.
Well, I think they've had more contributors, Canberra, than Sydney University in that first half. As we quickly just look at some stats before we go to half-time, overall possessions favouring Canberra just, but they're probably the couple of key stats I want to point out. Hit-outs, 36-21 Sydney Uni's way, and clearances, 27-17. So they have had the ball around those stoppages more willingly and more frequently than Canberra. But inside 50s are the one. They tell the tale when you generally get up close and personal with the goals. And Canberra, 35 inside 50s in that first half to Sydney University, 21. Individual possession getters. Let's start with the game-leading Canberra Demons. Mitch Maguire, 21 first half disposals. Lucas Malign, 20 disposals in the first half. Alex Smout, all those guys have been fantastic. Smout's had 17 and a dozen each to Taylor and Highmore. And also Sam Martin off halfbacks had 10. While Craig Bird for Sydney University, he's had 19, including 6 clearances. Zach O'Brien, he's had 17 disposals, 3 clearances. And Stevenson, who's pushed in the middle of the ground, he had 14, and McFadden, Stevenson had 16, and McFadden had 14. So lots of numbers there.
So many numbers. Mitch Maguire, 9 tackles as well. He's been outstanding. Best on ground for the day, I think. And
we might just mention that tackle count, 49 Canberra, so that sums it up as well.
Pressure.
49-31. Well, on Sunday night, the 2018 NEFL MVP award ceremony was held on Sunday. Where Aspley co-captain Matthew Payne won a 3rd MVP title, which is a record. Let's take some time now to recap the major award winners.
Mark of the Year. Number 5, Aspley, Jono Freeman, round 3. Then goes long inside 50, it's a 2-on-1. Big leap from Freeman! Over the top of Daniel Charlesworth, actually stolen out of the hands of Jaden Young, who kicks the ground. Magnificent dexterity in the air from Jono Freeman, NEFL Mark of the Day. Number 4, NT Thunder, Joe Anderson, round 19.
In the ruck contest now, Redland coming away with the ball. Kick up. Oh, Anderson took a great mark. Eyes for the ball. Reminded me of Nick Rewald taking a mark many, many years ago now. That's a super job from Joe Anderson.
Number 3, Sydney University, Ryan Hebron, round 18.
In congestion, Salter out of the pack, inside forward 50. Oh, what about the leap of Ryan Hebron there? It was telegraphed, it was set up for him nicely, and he took full advantage with a terrific mark.
Number 2, Giants, Isaac Cumming, round 8.
Simpson did his own roving, cut off by Malone, got a kick to half forward. Isaac Cumming! Flew for a long time, the Broken Hill Flyer. Sat on Kyle Walsh's shoulders, former academy player for the Giants. And Isaac Cumming has taken one of the marks of the year.
And our winner from NT Thunder, Liam Patrick, round 14.
The man, the ball just ricocheted clear of him. He looks to get the ball moving very quickly. Dangerous is Liam Patrick. That is amazing.
Goal of the Year. Number 5, NT Thunder, Ben Rioli, round 19.
Richard Tamley, but he's been a great player for them. His Ben Rioli on the bounce. Steps 1, steps 2, gets inside 50. He can go all the way. Go all the way, Ben. Runs in, kicks at goal, and has he got it? I reckon he has. That was a long running effort. Look at him. He's exuberant. He's excited. He's thrilled with a fantastic effort.
Number 4, Canberra, Harry Carr, round 5.
There's a couple of short hand pass options. Instead decides to put the Demons deep into attack. Off the hands of Fulford Whistle. Maybe some high contact in the marking contest, so that'll put Fulford where? Well, the man on the mark is standing right on the 50, so Fulford would have to keep this from 55 at best. Might be just too far for him, but he's going back. No, he's not. He's dropped it around to the right. That would be Carr. Long bomb. Oh, monster bomb. It goes through the 3 quarters all the way up the goalpost and inside the centre square, and we look at the celebrations from the Canberra Demons. Well, Harry Carr, the long bomb. I guess it just goes to show if you've got a good car, you don't need to get stuck in traffic. Goal of the day.
Number 3, Aspley, Ben Warren, round 11.
Down again. Spilled out. Campbell came back to Payne. Inside 50. Bit of a chip. 3-on-1 situation. Was picked up out the back by Warren. Drop punt on the way. Oh, don't tell me. A freakish effort from Ben Warren for the Hornets. From the pocket, just put boot to ball. Had no space whatsoever to work with. And Ben Warren has kicked one of the goals of the year as Aspley are out to a 7-point lead.
Number 2, Canberra, Reid Stevens, round 20.
Forward 50. Numbers are strong for the Demons. Fall's trying to come into it. Stevens now wrapped and pivoted around. Spot as he kicked it. Oh, Aaron Bruce has tapped it. But I reckon Reid Stevens has almost kicked the goal of the year. That was just beautiful stuff from the Canberra Demons.
And our winner from Sydney University, Damien Bonney, round 9.
Bonnie now tries to get it. O'Riordan goes to ground. And again, somehow it comes clear. Looking for some real estate. Bonnie, high, long towards the hot spot. Bouncing through! Ha ha ha! You little ripper, Damien Bonney! His best! Ha ha! Beautiful stuff!
A key to Canberra's maiden finals appearance in 2018 has been the stunning rise of young midfielder Mitch Maguire.
A good tackle by Yagmore, but coming through nicely. That was Maguire there. He's following it up again. He'll just about get it again. In fact, he'll win the free kick, so well done, Mitch Maguire. He's had 18 disposals coming up for 19, and he's going to find a target here in Aaron Bruce.
The boy from small Riverina town Marul has taken the competition by storm, where the 20-year-old averaged 27 disposals and 5 clearances per game. Goal-kicking midfielder with a hard work ethic, Maguire has left no stone unturned this year to keep his AFL dream alive. Former Brisbane Lion Matt Hamilman starred on numerous occasions in his return to the Redland Bombers this season.
It's an inside 50, bounces for Hamilman. What can the big fella do? Shows his poise and class and dribbles it through for his second goal.
A beautiful kick of the football and strong in the air, Hamilman averaged 3.5 goals per game in 2018 to take out his first NEAFL leading goal kicker trophy.
He'll go the half forward. It's a bit of an up and under. Hamilman the target and Payne. But Hamilman, he set himself from the start, and this will be his shot and his first goal today. So Hamilman, he's kicked 33 goals this year. This is from 34. He started at left, they're bent back. It was sensational. Redlands once again kicked the first goal of the term.
Hamilman kicked 5 or more goals on 6 occasions, including a season-high 9 majors against NT Thunder in round 4, to be one of the shining lights for Redland this year.
2 games, 2 goals to him today, and who does it? Grabs it again. He's got it again. Hamilman. It's the Matt Hamilman show here at Traeger Park.
Yeah, he hasn't missed.
Weird blemish if he misses it. There you have it.
Doesn't miss. It's extraordinary. Unbelievable performance from him.
There seems to be no stopping Aspley megastar Matthew Payne as his incredible legacy in the NEFL only strengthened in 2018.
Payne knew it, collected the footy, danced around one, gives the handball off, and Harry Pearce.
As co-captain of the Hornets, Payne polled MVP votes in 15 of his 18 matches, whilst averaging 29 disposals, 4.5 inside 50s and over 6 clearances per game.
To the run of Payne, his full measure from 45 metres. No issues there for Matthew Payne. He puts it through for his first major of the afternoon. What's been a tough one for Aspley, he has been a shining light.
Now a 3-time NEFL MVP winner, Payne is undoubtedly an icon of our competition as we yet again crown the champion midfielder as our most valuable player.
Gave off to Payne from just inside 50. He puts through Aspley second.
And at Blacktown International Sports Park, this is half-time. We are back from half-time. This is NEFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. And, of course, the NEFL is proudly supported by Elastoplast. And at half-time, it is the Canberra Demons, the outsiders, coming into this elimination final. 8-9-57, leading Sydney University 4-2-26. It was an electrifying first half from Canberra. And the way they went about it, an underwhelming, it has to be said, first half from Sydney University. What's going to happen in the second half here? It's been fascinating stuff. Mark Kennedy is my name, and joining me for the first half and now into this second half, Eddie Summerfield. It's been wonderful, this spectacle, and it's been great to see the youthful enthusiasm and real bullet-a-gate stuff from Canberra.
And I think we'll expect that again from the Demons in the second half. Sydney Uni, they've got to start finding the footy, A, hitting targets, capital B, and then C, finding some of their key players who haven't had much of it today. I'm surprised. Jacob Derricks, he's had one possession to half-time. That was a great goal. Had a mark taken off him, but oh well. They need to look for Tagliabue. He's only had the 6. Dominated in the ruck. Hasn't had enough of it around the ground. Barton, he's had 8. Lucy has had 8. Hiscock's 9. Those guys need to start finding the footy early in this second half. Start working at a couple of 1-2s. Keep possession away from Canberra. Get the footy inside 50. Look for Derricks up there. I think they've still got run in them, the youth students. But if Canberra kick the first couple of goals, they're through.
Well, for me, I think Sydney University, I think they came here this afternoon thinking that Canberra have lost their last 4 or 5 games, that they really probably were cooked in a lot of people's minds, and maybe they've just taken the foot off the pedal. But the Canberra Demons, to their credit, they've been going at it. And we'll get underway in this second half. Tagliabue again, gets it down to Bird, but the pressure comes. Osborne, he's in there amongst it. The ball just spills out a little bit from the contest. Bird again, and Osborne's right there with him, wrapped up, and we'll have a ball up. So that pressure around the contest in these opening seconds has kept up for Canberra, even though they've been smashed around the hitouts and the clearances.
And that was Tagliabue winning that one down relatively easy. Stevenson kick rushed, not good enough. Handball came back to Hebron. He worked a bit of time by faking a handball, then got a kick up the ground. Dimmery there, marked well, flicked it to the running Stevenson. He'll put it inside 50. Derricks there, or O'Brien rather, couldn't mark. Ball came to ground level. Canberra with numbers, but they just stuff around with it a little bit too much. Lucy there overran it. Bartholomeus, he gave the footy up, goes straight to Bruce, and the Demons work the footy forward again. Marks paid on this occasion to Barton.
Was a little bit of a face plant to go with it. Put it down there, gets it to Goulden. Halfback flanker in the team of the year. In the middle of the ground, big Tagliabue. He's right there in the middle of Blacktown International Sports Park. The Bisp, as we're giving it. Off to Stevenson, goes out wider, has Lucy out there. The first goal of the game. Be looking to impact the scoreboard. Was looking for Bird, and just coming back the other way was Highmore, so he just left his man nicely to play that intercept role, spoil it out of bounds. So they're just combining very well, the Demons, in the way they're going about it, knowing when to go and when not to go. And how about the work of Mitch Maguire? The ball just seems to fall into his arms, but it's a lot more complicated and skillful than that, I'm sure.
Tossed in, Sydney Uni, left-hand side of your NEFL TV. Tagliabue won this one down. He'll have to do his own crumbing. Young there also. Works the footy backwards to Stevenson. Boundary line beat them to it. And if you have just joined us on NEFL TV, it is a 31-point lead to Canberra. They came out of the blocks hard. 5 goals in that opening quarter. They backed it up with 3 in the second, and Sydney Uni have just kicked 2 in each.
So ball back into play. Pake. Well, in fact, there's a free kick, and it'll go the way of Sydney University. It'll go against Pake, suggesting that Pake put his arms around in the contest, not letting Tagliabue a fair run at the ruck contest.
Not a known goal kicker, Tagliabue. Played all 18 games for the students this year. Kicked just the 2 goals.
So he'll have to kick it just about all of 50 metres, one would think. He winds up on the left, and he just sliced it, so that's not going to get there, right to the top of the square. And it was, at the bottom it was Davies, couldn't quite take it. He had a fair run at trying to catch it. Standing in the tackle there's Young, he's going nowhere. Davies has another go. The kick was not really effectual. Martin clears for the Demons, but only gets it back to Bartholomeus, who goes in board and finds Goulden.
Geez, he could have gone a bit quicker there inside 50, but just squares it up. A work a handball to the running Day. Day inside 50. Derek's the target. He'll fly from 3 back, crunch the pack, spilled out to Lucy. Flicks a handball back to his teammate there, Sirakowski. Put it high to the hot spot. Big fly. Good mark taken. O'Brien. And he'll be going back from about 30 out. Should have no problems from here.
Well, he stood underneath it, didn't he, O'Brien? So realistically, the Canberra defence should have done a lot better on that occasion to bring the ball to ground. But kudos to Zach O'Brien. He'll go back. He's been busy. He's had 17 disposals. Come out for 18. First shot at goal.
So to bring it back to 25 points, O'Brien mark. O'Brien goal. That's the start the students would be wanting in this second half. And it is back to a 25-point ball game. So we take a look on the Tribal Sport replay screen. O'Brien just coming to the bench for catch a breath, bit of a drink. But it was a beautiful mark. Stood his ground, and then his kick, sensational.
It was good. As soon as he kicked it, he knew it was there. And they went up to really try and inject some enthusiasm into their game, to get them right into it. 25 points is still the margin. So there's plenty of work to be done from the students, but one would think they're generally up for the challenge. And Canberra, they'll be looking to go on with it. Tagliabue again. And there's a free kick on play again. This time it'll go Canberra's way. It goes to the solidly built midfielder in Isaac Taylor. Goes long down the middle. Contest over the back there with the spoil was Burke. That was Bruce at ground level. Gives it to Maguire. Gives it out towards Hardy, and he has got sticky fingers. I thought for a moment that just wasn't going to quite get enough purchase on it. Tough kick though.
He's just having a look around to find a target, and all of his forward teammates have said, I'm not going to give you a lead. Have a shot. Own it.
Comes in, Mitch Hardy. Looks like he sliced it. Didn't look good off the boot. And again, we saw one of these occurrences last time where no real Canberra play was there if the ball fell short. And Aaron Day, he just mopped it up easily.
So Day, big booming kick. This is where the Canberra players are standing. It's going to go the way of Sydney Uni, because I think the umpire's claiming the Canberra player didn't have any eyes for the footy going into the contest. So free kick the way of Sydney Uni across half back. Can they build some momentum? Just hold possession. That's what they're doing at the moment. So kick up the wing's good. Derek's with it. Has a look forward. Realises he can't kick to himself, so goes along to a contest where Tagliabue was standing. Reinhardt as well, the two big fellas. Ball at ground level. Bird there. He went without it, holding the footy. So free kick to Canberra. Advantage paid through the wing.
So that kick was sliced off the boot as well and mopped up easily by Goulden so they could transfer the ball. Coming out is Burke, the late inclusion for Cooper, and gets the ball over the top. Bartholomeus goes the little short kick, and just reaching up high there was Davies. So Davies looking for a target, just finds Young about 60 out. He goes quickly. That's an awful looking kick, but nonchalantly just reeled in with the one arm by Craig Bird. What about that?
You say awful kick. I think that was a perfect kick. He just sliced it beautifully, knew the target. He had two players standing there on the Tribal Sports replay. Bonnie, one of them. He'll be giving Bird a bit of lip after the game as Bird starts his approach.
Goes in, and he has squeezed it through. So Craig Bird, another midfielder, adds to the first one that Zach O'Brien put through. And the men in the middle are doing the damage here early in this third quarter. They bring the margin back to 19 points as they move to 6-2-38. Canberra, 8-9-57. And I feel a little warning siren starting to go off around Canberra. That bench, they'll just trying to be right the ship. But this happened exactly the same in the second quarter as well, that Sydney Uni got a couple on the board and the Demons steadied. Will that be the case again?
I think the difference here is that took them about 15 minutes of play to get 2 goals. These two have come in 8 minutes, relatively close to each other. Bit more momentum, so it's going to be Lucy up in the ruck against Richards. Richardson unsurprisingly won it down. Running through there, Owen Orban. Got a kick inside 50 for the Ds, but the Students with numbers. Run and carry was superb by Burke. Have a look at them go through midfield. Lucy starting to get his mitts on the footy. Bonnie the target, will bounce in front of him, slipped on his shadow. Highmore behind him, flicked the handball back to Richards. Sols a bit of candy, copped one high. Umpire let play go on, came back. Highmore tackled without it. Here come the Students again. They got players lining up on our broadcast wing. One of them, Sirakowski, pings it inside 50. Derek's the target, O'Brien there too. And beautiful chest mark, just fell into the bread basket, Kanga. And they'll have a chance for the first time all day to kick 3 goals in a row, Sydney Uni.
Well, I don't mean to be an umpire basher, but that free kick was blatantly missed in the middle. I won't say blatantly, but it was a blatant free kick to the big boy Richards in the middle, but not to be. Umpire didn't see it. Goes the way of Sydney Uni. Derricks comes in.
He's kicked one already today. This one not going to go through the middle, or is it? Swinging back. Not far enough. And a behind for Derricks, leading goal kicker for the Students in season 2018. He's kicked 38 majors. A let-off for Sydney Uni.
Canberra, not sure what they're going to do here. It was Klemke. He kicked it out of bounds on the full.
How's O'Brien there? Bit of lip. Told Klemke all about it after he kicked it on the full.
Well, he was called to play on, and then he hesitated. He had nowhere to go as the Sydney Uni forwards closed down on him, and he still had to kick it out of the boundary, out of the goal square. So just lobbing it up. There was Foster. Young runs onto it. He was looking for Lucy, and Lucy I don't think was ready for it. So a little bit of a let-off from that point of view. Gee whiz, just that pressure being applied.
So Uni in attack. They've kicked 2 goals to none this quarter. They trailed by 31 points at half-time. Thrown in. Young was held without it. Didn't matter. Stevenson round the body. It's cut off though. Highmore there. Just bangs it out of defensive 50. Wants Bruce to fly. Standing out the back was Day. Couldn't mark. And he wheeled around on his right boot inside 50. Wasted ball, Kanga.
He just didn't look, did he? You know, I think you just got to do a little bit better and lift your eyes and have a look for a better option there.
At time.
So they bring it back in. Maguire just puts it out in front of the commentary position here on this clubhouse wing. Owen Orban, he's wrapped up in a nice, strong physical tackle on that occasion. And that was by Burke. And across the WA recruit from Perth. Ball up again. Richards and Lucy. So using a different style of ruckman now. Taylor feeds it out, finds Maguire. Maguire down the line, a very nice kick. Finds Vardenega, has the run of Stevens over the back. One-on-one contest. Burke's there, Stevens is there. The push and shove. He gets a boot on it and it goes through. Reed Stevens. First game back earlier, a few weeks ago, he kicked a contender, a finalist in the goal of the year. And the body work, I would put that one right up there as he really did a fantastic job to kick the goal.
Let's have a look on the Tribal Sports replay. Beautiful kick in, and we see Reed just pressing. Doesn't give up. He nearly lost it there. Got a boot to the ball. Kanga, as you say, that's a contender. I don't know if there's an award for finals goal of the year, but that's right up there.
It certainly will be. Great body work and persistence. The kick wasn't absolutely perfect, but Stevens, he still got the job done.
So back in the middle, Canberra get the response. Tossed up, good use of the body by Sydney Uni as they get the clearing kick. Bonnie the target, he'll lead in the race for it and just use the space well. Charging through, I think it was Stevenson, he was dispossessed. Here's Canberra trying to clear from defence. Owen Orban there, he turned it straight over to McFadden. Could have been pinged with it. Umpire said no as they run it out of defence. 1, 2 bounces to Maguire. It's a half forward. He's been outstanding today. The kick, like him, very good. Hardy there. That's Mitch. Inside 50, big fly from behind. Mark not paid. Spilled out of the hands. Students with numbers here, although they can't quite find the footy. Bartholomeus. He brings it back in. Umpire circles. Gone. Great pressure and tackle there from Jack Baker. And Bartholomeus just dragged it in. And Harry Carr will get the free kick.
Well, the other man that was in that tackle, helping Harry Carr, was Mitch Maguire, who expertly put the ball up this clubhouse side of the ground. It was terrific work, and what work rate. And the Canberra Demons, they can re-extend this lead.
To take it back out to 30 points. He's got one already. Make that 2 for Carr. That's a beautiful kick and goal. Set shot excellent. Back out to 5 goals here just after you thought Sydney Uni were getting the momentum back.
It's amazing the way this game has turned. We just said Sydney Uni kicked the first couple. That's the way it happened in the second quarter. And then Canberra have responded. And that's exactly what has happened yet again here in the third. So 2 goals apiece in this third quarter. Margin back out to 30 points. It was 31 points at half time. And on the Tribal Sport replay, we see the players get right around Harry Carr as he drove it home.
Love it. I am laughing out loud. It just doesn't sound good on Mike Kanga. That's why I'm not giving you much there.
That's all right. I'll keep the puns coming. And Canberra, they keep it coming. Sirakoski gets it out of the middle. The clearance, it was from Tagliabue. Lucy dragged off it. Unlucky not to get a free kick there for mine. Canberra defence swarms. Derricks, and he just feigns around one, gives a bit of space to Bird. Bird can go for goal. Is this the reply they needed? No. It just slid across the face. And 1 point it is. So 29 points back to the margin now.
Canberra bringing it in. Halfway through this third quarter, big pack of players fly. Tagliabue came down with it, couldn't quite hold the mark. Carr's lurking, tackling pressure good. Derricks wants a piece of it too. And it will be tossed up. Half forward flank for Sydney Uni. Intensity was intense in that first half. It's just lifted a notch in this second half as Uni look to fight back into this ball game. They go inside 50. How does that man get that free inside forward 50? It's Austin Lucy.
Well, he was sitting just in that sort of no man's land, but it's one of those situations where if you're used, you look like a genius. If it's kicked over your head and your opponent gets it, you look like a fool. But they chose to use him, and Lucy comes in.
Bring it back to a 23-point ball game. He won't have the carry. Derrick's the target. Strong hands, strong mark. It's great to watch inside forward 50, particularly deep Derricks.
Well, for the most part, Ben Howells has actually done a pretty good job. Just the one disposal to half-time, Derricks, but just seeing some signs of Jacob Derricks starting to really work into the game.
He'd had one touch to half-time. That was a goal. Comes in, drop punt, squeezing through, and Derricks has got 2.
Well, the quick answer comes. Margin back to 23. And again, just trying to mount something that will equate to a challenge. And Jacob Derricks, I thought for a moment it was going to fade and hit the post. And as Eddie Summerfield went high on the voice, as it got close to the post, it still registers. Not an octave, but for 6 points at least.
Just felt the squeeze as well then, Kanga. Didn't think it was going to make it.
So Derricks, that's 2 for him. As we back in the middle. Tagliabue and Richards. Tagliabue. McFadden gets the quick kick away. Davies, under pressure, takes the mark. So they can come again, the students. Kick didn't look like a great one, but at least it was to the advantage of Derricks. He just turns and says, catch this one, boys. Puts it near the top of the square. Well done there by the defence. Through the legs of Bird. Malign says, let's get it out of here, up the other end. Unable to take it is Barkley. Fulford's right there with him. Barkley gets back on it. Gives it out wide. Bartholomeus. Little short chipping ball, doesn't find a target. Richards, the big boy, just comes through and does what a big man should do. And then Powell, he was there to be wrapped up by Bartholomeus. Half-forward flank out of side. We played 17 3/4 minutes of this third quarter.
Derricks again inside 50. Looks like a live wire. Tagliabue rather lost his man there. as at Canberra, they had players around this stoppage. They'll handball through midfield. Have a look at the run and carry on this wing. That's Martin. Eventually finds a handle on the footy. Looks for a likely target. Runs to 50. Goes himself to the top of the goal square. Great use of the body. Could be a push. Umpire says no. That's a great mark, Alex Peach. Go back and have a shot for your first goal of the season.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we could get that one on Tribal Sport replay. I thought he had his hands in the back for mine. I'm not trying to be down on the Canberra Demons because they've transferred the ball beautifully.
Hasn't kicked a goal all year, Pete, in 18 games. This one, make no mistake about it, it's a goal. So Canberra, they just won't lie down in this one. And it is back out to 29 points. 11-9, plays 7-4. Could be the first time we ever see in the NEFL a team ranked 6th win a final.
Well, could it be? And on that replay, we see this marking contest, and you clearly see his hands in the back, I think, for mine. So, again, I don't want to be down on the umpires there, but for me, that was a pretty obvious one. As a defender, you'd be pretty disappointed, I'm sure. Tommy Morrison would be disappointed at that as a coach, but you take him where you can get him, don't you?
You do.
And I thought it wasn't a goal to Sydney Uni, or it wasn't a goal to Sydney Uni before. It might be the square up there as far as I'm concerned, as we're underway again. Just off the ground goes Bird. Klemke leads the charge on Young, but the ball falls to Stevenson. Bonnie, now Dimmery. Little chipping ball inside forward 50, and that's a good mark under heavy pressure. And coming up with it on this occasion is Ned Reinhardt. Had no real impact on this game. Reinhardt, this will be disposal number 4. Hasn't hit the scoreboard yet either.
Kicks a goal in every game this season, well, on average. Kicks 16 from 15 games, so this kind of distance, this kind of angle. See how he goes. Bit of wind blowing at this end.
So Reinhardt hits it reasonably sweetly. It's there. He likes it, gives himself a clap, winds his teammates up as well. Margin to 23, bit of a seesawing contest here.
Just need to work goals in a row, Kanga, the Sydney Uni students.
So Reinhardt, just left knee, well strapped, but hit it. And I thought for a second it was really going to fade across the face, but got through. And the right result there for Uni. 23 points the margin. 21 minutes gone of this third quarter.
Can they get it back down to under 3 goals, Sydney Uni? Ball's pinged into the turf of the Blacktown International Sports Park. The extraction was good from Canberra. Go inside 50 again. Hebron did well, kicked it out, came to Taylor. He'll get another inside 50 in the space of 30 seconds. He wants to play on, and he does. From 50, unleashes a drop punt to the top of the goal square. Couple of fists fly. Taylor there, free kick paid, or it went over the line and it's rushed through for a behind.
Fancies himself in good range as Taylor. Was happy to get up quickly and go at it. Sydney Uni bring it back in. Margin now at 24 points. Hebron feeds it out to Day. Day is forced to kick it a little bit higher than he wants. So Richards, ball goes over the back. Running onto it is Potter. Potter, left foot. That's a scrubby looking conveyance inside forward 50. Klemke evades the tackle, gives a quick handball, looks to get it back. Met heavily by Potter again, so the turnover comes. Sydney Uni goes around the corner. Bonnie over the top of Stevenson. Bird's there, coming to meet him fiercely was Howes. And then it was Stevenson, I think, who got back on it. Snap for goal and pulled it across the face, so only 1 point.
He's missed a couple of gettable goals today, Louis Stevenson. So Canberra, bring it in. It's now under 4 goals. The lead of the Demons. So they work the footy from half-back. Packer players fly from behind, and it goes out of play where it will be tossed in. Bit of a break in play that we haven't seen a lot of in this quarter, Kanga.
Well, for mine, Sydney Uni need to narrow the margin by at least another goal.
Yep.
Just to give them that real sense that they're right in it. And it's not that they won't be out of it if the margin is this at half-time, three-quarter time, but you wouldn't want Canberra to kick another one. Ball back in play. No real impetus either way other than the ball rolling. Canberra.
Games over footy aren't won in the third quarter. They can be lost, though. And that's what you're saying there, Kanga. Bring it back to around that 2-goal margin. They'll have the scoring end in the last quarter, so who knows what will happen. As tossed in again, Richardson, the unlikely ruckman in Lucy. Lucy won that one down for Sydney Uni. Footy to half forward. Geez, great mark across half back. Taken by Klemke. He's had some game across the back line for the Demons today, the coach. Don't know if he'll put himself in the best, but he's been very good as the drop punt comes to half forward. Fisted away down there. Ball bounced to Bird as the handball comes forward to the running Stevenson. Put it inside 50. Beautiful kick. Bounced in front of Derricks. Derricks has time to stop, prop and assess. Then kicked it into the man standing the mark. Canberra with numbers around this stoppage. High. Ugly torpedo. Goes 50 metres to half forward for the D's. With numbers, though, Sydney Uni trying to keep it in front of himself. Sparkley couldn't quite. Great use of the body peak. Flicked a handball out, but the students will run it out of defence with Hebron.
So Hebron, tell you what, Canberra had Bruce right in the goal square by himself. Almost slipping over there and missing it was his cost, but gets back on it now to Bonnie. Kicks it in board. They've got the numbers here, the students. Potter gives a quick handball over the top. O'Brien, he senses a player further afield. It's touched off the boot. So play on's the call. Sierakowski had his handball partially smothered. The ball handballed in the goal square by Davies to Derricks. That's 3 for Jacob Derricks. And all of a sudden, Sydney Uni have got probably what they wanted, and that's an extra goal to narrow the margin. With a little bit more time to play, it's back to 17 points.
And we'll have a look at this one on the Tribal Sports replay. And you see the Sydney Uni players lining up on that wing. O'Brien smart there just to not blaze away. Ball spilled into the middle, and Derricks, the experience to know to run to the goal square all alone, walks into the simplest of goals.
Oh, you can't help but feel that Davies wasn't met heavily enough before when he got the ball. There was pressure coming his way, but they just need to really impact him physically to be able to not get that handball away.
Ball in the middle again. Lucy going up. Couldn't even get a hand to it, but it's Maguire, the extraction to half forward for Canberra. Outstanding. Has a look forward. There's not much doing. He's telling the boys he's going to go long. Stevens, one of the targets there. Flying from the side. It bounced out the back. Footy just there. Hebron over the top. Risky handball. Potter there. Wrapped up in a tackle. Just got rid of it. Demons pressure good. But the students, they find some space. Kick comes long. Looking for Reinhard. Couldn't mark on this occasion. They'll need to shepherd. Handball from Highmore. Good use. Came out to Riley Budd. Short kick to half forward. Good. And taking the mark, Bruce wants 50 for the protected zone, not given.
It was good pressure there. Good pressure there from Canberra in the finish. And he has gone with a very ugly torpedo. Low percentage. It was cut off pretty easily. And really need to put it to a dangerous spot. And the captain needs to lead by example. Especially with his side 17 points up. You don't want just cheap turnovers, just to give the opposition a chance when you are the leaders.
Tossed in. Canberra will want another one here. Uni have dominated this quarter. Stevens couldn't quite get it out. Bruce's punch out of that stoppage, not good enough. It bounced away from O'Brien there. Still a chance here. Highmore went without it. Here comes Sydney Uni. Look at them line up through the middle. Howell bounce for Bonnie. Not quite to him. Does enough to keep pressure on his Canberra opponent. Handball flicked out the back. Young there. The Demons with numbers. They'll work the handball well out to Owen Orban. He gets a kick up the broadcast wing. Pake's waiting. He marks. Just told to slow things down and wait for someone to get forward to kick to. And that gives Uni a chance to block up all of the holes. His kick, poor, turned over. And Uni will clear it out of defence through Josh Burke.
Well, the kick just wasn't right, and he just needed a couple of players really to come to the ball as well at the same time. That kick from Sydney Uni, it's not a great one. Vardeniga does well, but also there was Dimmery. Ball on the ground, in dispute. Plenty of players around it. And No real winner there, so the umpire will ball it up. Centre wing position. In front of the Neefle commentary position. Bird has his kick smothered. Goes again, emerges with it. Not sure about the hand pass. Sierakowski has his kick smothered. Bird off the ground in the path of Davies. Right there with him is Riley Budd. There's plenty of people around it here. Foster, he'll get it out. Now the run of Goulden. Goulden inside forward 50. Oh. No real good disposal inside forward 50 there. Klemke emerges with it from the pack. They'll come away. Maguire, generally good disposal. This is no exception. Gets it back off Stevens. Goes through the middle. Looking for Hardy. That's a great kick. And away they go. Demons, they'll hold it up though for a sec.
So have a look at Carr here. 2-on-1. Wanted it long. Great use of the body. Carr should run into an open goal. I feel deja vu. That's another for the D's. Similar circumstance to one earlier this game. And the Demons just get a little bit more in front, bit more breathing space.
Well, back at the 23 points, wasn't it? And it was good body work there. And what about the pinpoint disposal of Mitch Maguire? Gets it off to Hardy. Hardy sees the one-on-one contest. Hebron, he's just outpointed on that occasion by Carr. And Carr ran into the open goal after he got the ball over the back.
Bit more height and just muscle there from Carr. Knew exactly what he wanted to do before he got it. 191 centimetres, Kanga.
91 kilos. I said he's no slouch, and certainly Hebron just a little bit light, a bit shorter, and the bigger man won the day.
So footy pinged back into the turf. 23-point ball game. The Students now desperate for one more going into three-quarter time. Inside 50, bouncing footy, well crumbed. They work a handball out to Young. Young couldn't quite find the handle on it, went back through traffic. Smart work from Young, gave it to Bird. Open goal, we're back to 17 points at Blacktown.
Reinhardt, we'll give that one to Reinhardt. But the result doesn't matter. And Ned Reinhardt, he kicks his second. And that just, again, just a little bit of seesawing type stuff here, but it's Canberra that holds sway, but Sydney Uni, they're trying to make that indent in that lead to really line themselves up.
She's just having a look on the tribal sports. Reinhardt got a handball early in that stoppage and then ran forward beautifully. Great awareness.
Well, they need to go again. Richards at that time over the top, but Bird comes away with it yet again. Sierakowski, he'll get on his favoured left. Puts it deep inside forward 50. Young at the back, goes over the top. Lucy's there. Will it bounce for him? He gives it back. Bonnie just put it behind Bonnie, did Lucy. And as a result, it spilled to ground, rolled over the line. A little bit of a let-off.
Suddenly, after we thought Canberra had the momentum going into three-quarter time, they're desperate to hold on here and not concede two in a space of a couple of seconds. Students deep in attack, thrown in, went over the head of the two ruckmen. Umpire's called a push. He's called a push. Tagliabue will take the free kick. He's a bit closer to goal from where he had a set shot earlier this quarter. And it could be under 2 goals at three-quarter time.
Well, this is danger signs. He's got to kick it. And the way he kicked the last one, you wouldn't be putting any of your houses on it, Eddie Summerfield.
Not in Sydney anyway, Kanga. So Tagliabue comes in 2 goals from 18 games this season. The big fella on the left boot. He loves it off the boot. It's back to 11 points here at Blacktown. As a bit of push and shove develops at half forward. Tagliabue's kicked his first for the afternoon. The instigator there, Bonnie, just giving a little bit back to Jack Powell. They're still going at it in front of the umpire there. And the free kick in the rucking contest, when you're giving up centimetres like the Demons are today, Tagliabue has dominated and he gets reward with a goal.
Well, it was a good kick by the big man on that occasion. Very much in the death throes of this third quarter. The margin got out as far as 30 points yet again, and the Students, they're starting to press. Back to 11. Richards and Tagliabue. Give it to the former. Powell. Quick kick away. Under pressure. Right to the forward 50. And then It was the big boy Richards who just laid it on, and that's a long shot at goal on the siren from Jared Osborne. They get around him. It must have been touch and go, but the kick was paid, the goal was paid, and the margin pushes out to 17 points right on the siren. What about that, Eddie Summerfield?
Got to pick my jaw up there. You thought Sydney Uni are going to take all the momentum. We look on the Tribal Sports replay screen. Footy rushed. There he is there. Osborne in space. He must have heard the siren coming. Was it touched, Kanga?
Well, no, it wasn't. Not according to the umpire and the umpire rules. We've had a couple of contentious ones this afternoon, but credit to the big fellow in Nathan Richards there, who impacted the contest to bring the ball out to allow that goal to be kicked by Jared Osborne. Well, we're set up for an absolutely wonderful last quarter of footy here at Blacktown International Sports Park. It is the Demons by 17 points. Just quickly, some of the stats getters. Overall possessions have started to go Sydney Uni's way, 289 to 255. Hitouts, 47 to 30, Sydney Uni's way. Clearances, 39-26, also Sydney's way. Canberra Demons, inside 50s, they hold sway, 47 to 37. Tackles, Canberra, they've been going at it yet again, 64-44, just overall possession getters. Mitch Maguire, 34 possessions to three-quarter time, if you don't mind, including 10 tackles, 5 clearances, 4 inside 50s. He leads the way. He leads everybody. Lucas Malign, 22 disposals. Martin and also Smout, 18 disposals. Didn't see much of Smout that quarter. Stevenson, for Sydney University, he's had 27, along with Craig Bird, who's had 8 clearances. Stevenson had 6. O'Brien with 19 is the next best, followed by McFadden with 17. Well, we're set up at three-quarter time. What's going to happen here at Blacktown International Sports Park? We're going to find out. Thanks to Neefel TV and our broadcast partner, Bar TV, we're going to have a little break and we'll be back with you for the final quarter. Canberra Demons have made their way out into their positions, and now Sydney Uni, they break from their huddle. They'll be a little bit cock-a-hoop, getting back within 17 points from the 31-point deficit at halftime they sought. We are at three-quarter time here at Blacktown International Sports Park. But a goal from Jared Osborne. Right on the three-quarter time siren, went from 11 points to 17 points, just to let the tyres down just a little touch on Sydney Uni. But they are coming, make no mistake about it. Mark Kennedy is my name. I'm joined by Eddie Summerfield. And Eddie, we are set up for an absolute cracking last quarter here between Sydney Uni and Canberra.
7 goals to 5 in that third quarter, the way of Sydney Uni. They were outstanding. Kanga, who's going to win?
I think Canberra can hold on.
I'm in your boat as well. It'll be the first team in the history of the NEAFL to win a final from 6th position. Here's Kanga with the start of the last quarter.
We're underway. They get another clearance. It was Stevenson, who's been moved into the middle with great effect. Bird, he overran it. Stevenson goes again young. He hasn't done much today in terms of really impacting what's been going on. Gets the ball out to Bird. Quick kick inside forward 50. Out towards the boundary line. And Derricks and House happy to see the ball over. And this is where the Canberra defence has been pretty resolute.
Yeah.
And at times, Canberra have made Sydney Uni pay for their errors in the game so far.
So tossed in. Can the students draw first blood? Tagliabue hit it back towards the hot spot. Bird wrapped up in a tackle. Ball spills free. Umpire circles and says, give it to me.
Well, the last probably month or so, they've just tired and faded badly in games, Canberra. So that's going to be the question. If they can remain with the intensity that they have done all game, I think they get it done. Stevenson again, over the back, just covering up and happy to take the tackle. Might have been O'Brien who'll get up with it. Oh, in fact, it was Hiscox. So ball up again. Tagliabue. Bartholomeus. Get away. Maguire did well. Klemke on the left foot. Kicks it out towards the boundary line. Right on that wing. What will this call be? I think that'll be deliberate, and the umpire agrees. Had no eyes for anything else but that. I don't think you can complain too much, Eddie.
Not at all with that call. So the students will have another crack at setting something up. Just wonder what stage of this game fatigue will come into it, because Uni have had to work very hard to get back into this ball game. They trailed by as much as 31 points at half-time. Back inside 50. Footy bounces in front of O'Brien. Oh, looked for Bonnie with the handball. Couldn't find him. Well done there, Smout. Hadn't seen a lot of him in that third quarter as the Demons work the footy out of half-back. Handball over the top's good. Powell there. Had to move it quickly. Did so now. Demons to half-forward. Just a bit of a kick and hope. Will the umpire see it the same way this time? No. And it will be tossed in. Half-forward flank for Canberra, leading this game by 17 points. That's the three-quarter time margin here on NEAFL TV. Thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. Also should throw in Elastoplast. They've been a proud supporter of the NEAFL in season 2018.
And back into play. Pake and Tagliabue. Give it to the ladder. Bursting onto it was Hardy. Puts it over the top to Maguire. And just thrown down after he was tackled was Hardy. So Maguire will be paid the advantage. Free kick. Not far downfield, but it is a little bit nonetheless. Very impressive. A lot of the Demons, but this man with the ball, he's been ultra impressive. 35 disposals. Well, that might be 36. Ball to the back of the pack. Cars there. Can't get foot to ball. Ball to foot, in fact, in time. I think it was already over the line, so 1 point it is. 18 points is the margin. Another little dodgy kick in. And the scrimmage ensues yet again. And it's tied up with Barkley, the man with the ball, but doesn't feel you full of confidence, does it, when you're on the end of some kicks like that?
We've seen how quick they can kick goals, Sydney Uni. They don't need to rush things early in this last quarter. It's the Demons inside forward 50. Shot from the pocket has missed the lot. Pretty disappointing outcome there. Probably could have centred. There's no one standing the mark. So Sydney Uni will be able to clear defence through Hebron relatively easy. Get it to the wing position. Good use of the body there as it's fisted towards Derricks. Couldn't quite get it. Tagliabue there. Flicked a handball inboard. Lucy was waiting. Came back as they work it forward Canberra defenders standing there. Handball came to Highmore. Highmore backwards, good. Found Klemke. Short kick, good from the coach. And the Demons just finding possession nicely across half back.
That was Smout. Got it off to Richardson. Didn't see a lot of Smout in that third quarter. Good to see him involved. Little chipping ball. Comes across to Angus Baker. Product of the Swans Academy. That kick. Just looking for Malign. Couldn't quite find him. And Day was happy to see it out of bounds. I think the likes of Highmore and also the defenders back there have been very good. House and Baker, the Baker boys.
Baker boys, very good.
Been into it.
Tossed in. Tagliabue got to front position this time. He's dominated this afternoon, but it's all Canberra standing across half back. Came back to Richardson, put it inside 50. Could be a push there. Barton dropped the mark out the back for the students. Mopped up well. So he flicks the handball backwards, but a poor kick. We've seen that a lot today. And Martin takes a mark unopposed. Just stops, waits for an option. Umpire calls him to play, kicks it to the pocket. Bruce the target, punched away well. And it will be a throw-in. Canberra in attack if you've just joined us on NEFL TV. And they're leading this one by 18 points. A tidy 3 goals.
Yes, well, this will be an upset. I think for most. 5 weeks ago, Canberra on top of the ladder. They fell to 6 by the end of the home and away season. And Sydney Uni, they just chugged along all season in third. Ball emerges. That was Bird, gets it down the line. In front of us here in the commentary position, Lucy gets back on the ball, but his handball's intercepted by Klemke. Tackled, but gets the ball away to Hardy. Hardy, little chipping left foot, finds Maguire. 2 Rising Star nominees. Amongst another one in Smout. Smout, little ball, inside forward 50. Couldn't find his target there. Osborne. Now the ball gets back to Osborne from Malign. Handball over the top. There's a whistle.
Trip.
And it'll go back to the Demons. And it's going to come back to Osborne, I think it might be. So he can go back and shoot for goal. This is a big kick.
Well, we saw him at not a set shot, but general play right before the 3/4 time siren. Didn't have time to think about that one. This one, set shot, 45-degree angle. We'll be right behind it here on Bar TV. And this is a big kick, as you say. Take it out to 24 points. And you just about start looking to book your ticket up to Sydney next week if you're a Demons fan. They'll play the Swans, the winner of this game.
Well, Jared Osborne, he kicked an absolute belter on the final siren, or in fact the siren for 3/4 time. And you don't want to say things were a fluke, but if you judge it on that kick, which was a shocker, you might say it was.
Finals footy, Kanga maybe gotten in his head a little bit there.
You can overthink things sometimes, can't you?
So big kick. Reinhard and Tagliabue, the 2 big fellas get in the way of each other. Taylor's kick inside 50. Couple of students players there. Not a kind bounce for them. Ducking, weaving. Fulford good. Got a kick to the pocket and it's seen out of play. Been pretty quiet up forward while being creative, Ben Fulford, today. Just the 1 goal. Leading goal kicker for the Demons in season 2018.
Just the 5 touch, or that was number 6 in fact. But that's not a bad result for Canberra because it's up in their forward 50 with another opportunity. Tagliabue at the back with Richards. They go hard at the ball. Potter stands, delivers a handball, looking for Sirakoski but didn't find him. Trying to come through again was Potter. Ripped off the ball. Will win the free kick, but the ball was kicked by the Canberra player through the goals, but doesn't count because Potter will win the free kick. That was good barging, good bullocking work there by Jackson Potter.
So Potter just goes short. Probably a good idea to give the coach another kick. He's a real good user of the footy, Barton. No exception this time. They got a bit of space here, Sydney Uni, as the footy comes to half forward. Derrick's too far out to score, but he's got a pretty vacant forward 50. Looks further afield now. Demons have got numbers back. Footy comes to ground. Reinhard there, just flicked it forward. He can get in the race of it here. Couldn't quite pick it up. Bonnie, good pressure. Ball spills out. Great tackle there from Foster. Umpire circles, says it was held to him, and let's toss it up. 20 out from the students' goal mouth.
Well, Riley Budd, he's done not a bad job back there. Former GWS Academy product.
Still at the academy.
Still there.
Played 13 games for GWS this
Richards
season.
just goes off the ground. Was lucky. It just eluded a few students, but it didn't elude Hebron, and he loaded up and just snuck it through for a point. So margin within 3 straight kicks. That's Sam Martin with the ball, full back.
So Martin kicks it to himself, then just kicks it long outside defence 50. Big pack of players fly, punched away. Good pressure from Davies. Handball came out towards the boundary line, and that's where it will be tossed in.
Well, the longer this quarter goes, the more nervous players get, don't they? Knowing that an action is going to have a greater impact upon what happens towards the end of the game. And two sides, Sydney Uni have been very nervous in finals generally, and of course Canberra, first one up in their NEFL careers, bursting through his Potter, the favoured left foot, so he gets enough purchase on it. Derricks is the target. He had front spot, but Highmore did well. He just chimed in from the side and was able to impact that contest well enough to bring it to ground and over the boundary line. We'll go again.
So you look for your crummers in this situation if you're Sydney Uni, and you look at who will be doing the ruck work. It will be Lucy for the students up against Richards. Lucy in back spot. Richards won it down. No crummers there for Sydney Uni as it's kicked out of defence. Good use of the body by the Demons. They'll get the kick up the wing. Just a bit of a foot race will develop. Richardson there, the target. It bounces away from him towards the boundary line. It goes, and it will be deliberate. So free kick going the way of Canberra.
Yeah,
good call, Kanga.
I think that was a wonderful call. Hebron had no other idea but to tap it to the boundary line. Vardeniga goes down to the forward 50. The spoil was on Bruce. And he's very important, is Aaron Bruce. He's the most experienced player out there, over 200 games in that NEFL competition. And he is that person who can settle down, present appropriately, and just give some real confidence to the young ones around him. Ball back into play. A quick kick came out of the pack. Sydney Uni's way. Reinhardt, Sirakoski on the left foot towards forward 50. Derricks is there, but still 70 from goal.
So Derricks has a look. He's got Potter leading to the pocket. Young there too. Young out the back. Potter used the fist, came to Young. Young got space, kicked a goal. Students are back within 11 points here at Blacktown. The experience of Potter and Young working together at the top of the goal square, outstanding. And Sydney Uni just aren't going away.
Well, here we are, 11 points yet again. And it was the experience of Tom Young. He hasn't been real prolific, and we see on the Tribal Sport replay, ball to the back of the pack. He just shrugged off Tom Highmore. And the Selwood shrug, if you like. Didn't result in a free kick, but he just showed that good core strength to just shrug off that younger opponent.
Surprisingly, his first goal of the afternoon for Tom Young. So if he starts to get his hands on it in the dying stages of this game, it'll go a long way towards the students, creating one of the great comebacks in finals footy.
Ball back in the middle. Lucy didn't win the tap out. Maguire, his handball was intercepted. It's in dispute now. Taylor, also Baker there. So plenty of players. Highmore's there, just tries to feed it out. Handball smothered. Good handball, finds Pake. Not sure where he was going with it. Maguire gave it to Taylor under pressure, and the students have got numbers all of a sudden. Lucy to Bonnie. Bonnie just squares the ball up. Bounces in front of Derricks. Right there is Howes. Just taps it behind him, hoping the cavalry arrive. Baker couldn't take it with him. Trying to push off Young was a player in... it was Hardy. And it was Tom Young who wins the free kick. And we could be back within a goal if Tom Young can kick straight. And we just talked about he hasn't had a great impact on the game. But when it comes down to it, that's what you want.
7 touches, 14 touches, 7 kicks, 7 handballs.
So Young comes in, shoots for goal and pushes it out to the right. So the margin, instead being back to 5, is back to 10.
So Canberra, can they keep riding out this wave of pressure coming from Sydney Uni? High kick out the back. Mark spilled. Demons with numbers. Could have been one high there against Hebron. Umpire let play go on. Footy's dragged back in. Umpire circling, waiting for it to come out. Tackling pressure good. Thought he may have just plucked one there. Elected not to.
Well, for mine, Canberra need to kick another goal.
Yes.
To win, don't they? They just need to get the ball down the other end of the ground and put it in their half and on their terms. Ball under plenty again. Dimmery gets up with it.
Goalless so far, Kanga, in this quarter. 15 gone.
Taylor goes off the deck. Can't quite find it. Bird. Oh, and he gave the ball up to Burke, who was met solidly. He was hit from here to Burke by Bruce. So lucky to get away with that one. Ball up again. Richards, or in fact it was Pake. And Lucy lays a tackle on the Demons player underneath there. So ball tied up. We've only had the one goal in this last quarter. It went the way of Sydney Uni. We're nearly 15 minutes into this last quarter. So it's not angling for a long time. Ball just spills out of the pack. First one there is Stevens. Gets a hurried kick around the corner. Bruce is there. Day with the spoil though. And then wins the ball. Puts it down deep towards Derricks. And he just juggled the mark over the boundary line. Boundary umpire says it was touched over. So he says, I'll pick it up and heave it back in some 12 metres in a beautiful arc.
So footy will be heaved back in. Sydney Uni in attack. Ruckman just hold each other there. Peak the man for Canberra. They wrestle with it, as we often see from a throw-in. So the structure looking at Sydney Uni, if they win it from the stoppage. Reinhardt's sitting in the goal square. O'Brien in Younger, about 15 out from him as it's tossed up again. It's spilled to Taylor. We won't see what happens if it went the other way. Canberra just work the footy off the ground to wing position. They've got a vacant forward 50 up their end. Ball bubbling around on the wing here at Blacktown as the handball came backwards. Got players lining up. Powell is one of them. Marks looks forward. Takes a couple of precious seconds off the clock. They lead this one by 10 and what would be a historic day for footy in Canberra as it's kicked up to the wing. Good strong mark spilled from Bruce. Umpire not paid. Ball at ground level and it will be tossed up. Canberra in attack, leading by 10 points. Been playing about 16 and a half.
Well, plenty of football still to be played in this last quarter. Could go either way. Canberra holds sway though. Ball down. Taylor gets off to Hardy. Hardy near the boundary line, right to the forward 50 arc. Bounces before it goes over the boundary line, so we'll have a throw in. So tense moments coming up. Just the one goal. 1-2 Sydney in this quarter. Just a 1 point for Canberra. Pake and Lucy. Give that one to Lucy. Bird, he'll emerge with it. Although the tackling pressure came. Dimmery, he was dispossessed. I'll get it again. McFadden, he's wrapped up by Hardy and gone. A little bit harsh, I think.
Took the tackler on, perhaps, Kanga?
Yeah, he stood in the tackle. I didn't think he had a lot of prior opportunity. But in saying that, the tackle was a good one, a fierce one from Mitch Hardy. And there was no real effective disposal coming forth. So Mitch Hardy, half-forward flank in the NEAFL Team of the Year. Rising star nominee with his teammate in Mitch Maguire winning it from 45 metres. 45-degree angle. Kicks a beautiful goal and puts a knife into the hearts of Sydney University as we enter the back half of this last quarter here to extend the margin out to 16 points.
Mitch Hardy, he's been fantastic today for Canberra. He's kicked 2 goals as we take a look at the strike of the footy on the Tribal Sports replay. Beautiful right foot kick. He knew the second it left his boot, Kanga. He had the fist pumping. He's had 4 tackles today, rewarded with that tackle holding the footy decision. Tell us more about his game as we wait for play to restart.
17 disposals. He's won 5 free kicks, interestingly enough. Only given 1 away. And he's hit the scoreboard now at a very, very important time.
16 points the lead for the Demons. Footy back in the middle. Comes out, nearly got a handball out to Taylor, but they get the clearance anyway, do Canberra. Fisted away from Barton down there as the foot race is on towards the boundary line. Barkley is flicked across the line with the footy and it will be tossed in.
I've got to say that if the result goes the way it is at the moment, this will be a bitter pill to swallow for Sydney University. They have just been dumped out of finals contention when they've looked right in it in previous years, and they look to be in it up to their eyeballs this year as well. That's Dimmery, gets it off. And Bonnie just puts it into the path of Sierakowski, goes down the line. Reinhardt, there was Baker, did well. Martin, the handball was allowed to be seen as okay as it rolled over the boundary line.
Interestingly enough, Sydney Uni, they're equal on points with Sydney and Southport for the latter. Percentage off a week off this week, Sydney Uni. Incredible season. It'd be sad to see it go down the drain this afternoon if you're a Students fan, as the handball comes back for Canberra. Martin got the kick. He's been good today. Pack of players. There's 4 Demons there. Oh, great use there by Smelt. He had a great first half. Kicked it up. Hebron got the fist away. Ball will bounce into the hand of Stevens. Stevens round the body. Will it stay in? Will it stay in? No.
Well, Sydney Uni now, they've really got to go all-out attack. They've got to open things up and really try and angle it in. They've got to kick 3 goals, and that is not the way to do it. And they just need to be sure of foot and by hand, and that wasn't what they needed. Hebron was the man who couldn't quite get on the end of that kick. Just bounces out of bounds, and some of those bad turnovers in the first half are really coming back to bite with this margin so close.
So Tagliabue won it down. They should go inside 50 here. The target, O'Brien, over his head. And Canberra will get a chance to clear defence. It's the coach, Klemke, out to the pocket. Happy to see a couple of seconds just wipe off the clock. Demons leading this one by 16 points. Students will need 3 goals to advance to a second week of the finals. As they work a couple of short kicks up the ground, there's Riley Budd. This is just his second game in Demons colours for season 2018. Puts it inside 50, wants a mark. No one's got eyes for the footy down there. Pushed away was Peake, couldn't quite find it. Goulden off the ground, turns it straight over. Chance for Canberra to ice it inside 50. Good fist away by Bartholomeus, and it will be tossed in. Demons in attack.
Well, I think one more goal will just about be the final blow required for Canberra. 14-11, playing 12-7. The margin 16 points. Throw in. Tagliabue easy. Richards down though. Dispossessed. That one time by Bird. Ball fed up by Taylor. China handballs by Hardy to Stevens. And he had a little bit more time and space to work in, but chose to go off the one step and just butchered it out of bounds on the full.
So the Students work the footy quickly. They've got to go the direction of the coach. The 100-gamer Barton couldn't find the handle on it. Handball came back the way of Richardson. Richardson worked the handball as well. Couple of 1-2s round the body to ice the game for Canberra. Missing to the right.
They are peppering here at the moment. Goes up the middle. Mistimed barrel by Barton. Reinhardt. He's under pressure, gave it up. Tagliabue, he's in amongst it there as well, wrapped up. So right on forward 50. Canberra still attack. The margin, 17 points. We're 22.5 minutes gone of this last quarter.
Tossed up again. Tagliabue got to front spot. Won another ruck contest. Good tackle there. But somehow the kick came forward for Canberra. To the hot spot. Diving mark. Not paid. Students with numbers here. Bartholomew is trying to extract. Umpire circles. And it will be tossed up. A dangerous territory for the Students. 30 out from Canberra's goal mouth.
Pretty amazing play there. The ball goes out. Just spills further away from the Canberra goal. Sierakowski running onto it. Smout. He looks a little bit tired. Just can't quite keep up with Sierakowski, but does enough to pressure him into taking the ball out of bounds. The throw in. Canberra have moved, Sydney Uni have moved it to half back at least.
17-point ball game. They need 3 goals and they need them in a hurry. Tagliabue, one of the best ruckmen in the comp, won it down. Handball came out. They'll run inside 50. Derek's the target on the lead. Should mark. Punched away from him. Boundary line there. Derek's calling for a free kick. Not there. And it will be tossed in.
So they need to move and they need to act quickly. 24 minutes gone. 17 points the margin. I don't want to give up on Sydney Uni here. But time is ticking. Richards at front spot. The ball comes down. Dimmery tackled there by Hardy. He's just down helping out. And every player is forward of 50 with Canberra just trying to clog things up, put the pressure on. Ball goes up in the air again. Smothered ball. Bird gets it going his way, albeit with no great impetus. Bonnie comes through, tackled. Only managed to give it to Riley Buddy. Put it back outside forward 50 and Barton stood under it nicely with good courage. Gets up and he moves it quickly.
So he goes quickly to the hot spot. Derek's from the side, but strong mark. Did he play on? Klemke with a handball?
No.
Umpire says give it back. It was punched out of his hand. So Kempke short to the pocket. Happy with that one, the Demons. So they held their breath when the footy went deep. They'll kick it out of defence, but it will come back. Strong mark taken at half back for the students.
So Barton just puts it to a dangerous spot yet again. Haven't anybody to really clunk them. Canberra try and clear. Martin on that occasion. Young gets around one. Tries to get around another one. Richards got a hold of him, but he managed to get the handball away. Hiscox to Dimmery. Dimmery shoots at a goal. And over the goal line it goes, but not in the direction that Sydney Uni wanted it for a point. Just to the right side of the goal post. And Baker will take his time. Canberra catch their breath. And you'd have to say that we are getting close to being done as Baker brings it back in.
So Baker out of defence, long kick, just wanting it distance more than anything else. And if you can find a teammate, it's a bonus. They do, Canberra. Look at them run up the wing, up the ground. Peake the target, one-on-one situation with Day. Day uses the body well, but Peake did better. Peake runs into open space to ice the game. Just a chip to the top of the goal square, bouncing ball. Uni with numbers. Handball back was good. McFadden there, back across the face. That's a poor kick. 4-on-1 situation. Surely the Demons can ice the game here. Around goes Osborne around the body. Misses. Back to 17 points here at Blacktown.
Gee, that was a bad miss. Oh. They had the numbers everywhere. It was a bad miss of Sydney Uni from the kick, and then it was a bad miss from Canberra looking for goal as the ball came back in. And it was tied up under plenty. Maguire was the man that gets up with it, gives it back to the umpire. So right on forward 50, they're still attacking the Demons. Margin out to 17 points. Bird underneath. Been very serviceable. Has Craig Bird. 8 clearances, 34 disposals, 5 inside 50s and a goal. Ian Stevenson have been fantastic. Richards gets the clearance. Fulford can't do anything there. Maguire again. Just kicks it in board. The ball's still alive here. Bartholomeus. And also Stevens getting up with it. And we'll have a ball up very close to the behind post.
17 points the margin. Demons leading. 27 and a half gone. Canberra in attack. Thrown up. Ball comes out towards the hot spot. Powell there. Powell there. Powell goal. Yes! Canberra lead by 23 points, and they should march on to second week of finals for the first time ever. Scenes here at Blacktown, they all get around Jack Powell. Beautiful snapping goal in the right place at the right time for the Demons. As we turn to the Tribal Sports replay screen from the stoppage, Powell shrugged the tackle, shrugged the bump, round the body. 23-point ball game. Come out of Sydney Swans next week.
Well, it was a lesson. It was a lesson for all those people about perseverance, staying on your feet, staying in the contest. Got the ball. He had to actually lose contact with his opponent initially and then gather, find a tiny bit of space and kick it. That was a magnificent effort. And the ball back to the middle. 23 points the margin. Canberra have only beaten Sydney Uni once before in their history. This is going to be a historic second one. Ball inside forward 50 for Uni though. O'Brien feeds the ball over the top. Davies can shoot for goal and kick one. Puts the margin back to 17 points, but too late, I think, as we have played some 29 minutes of this last quarter. They need to kick 3 in the best part of 2 or 3 minutes. Could they do it? Highly, highly unlikely. I'm saying no.
It was a beautiful goal there for Davies. They kicked that one within 30 seconds of the ball being pinged into the turf, so who says they can't do it again? Highly unlikely.
I do. There you go.
Line
That's
through
a
it.
prediction. I don't mean to be so cutting. Sydney Uni have had a very good season, but when it's counted most, they've come up short today in Canberra. Of making their finals debut, are going to make a winning one. Ball back in the middle again. Tagliabue, beaten that time by Paik. Fulford kicks it out of the middle. Ball inside forward 50. It's an open forward line. Carr's there. Also with him is Barton. Carr just goes off the deck. Bartholomeus gives it to Barton. Quick kick out of defence. Just eludes McFadden. Potter taps it on. Davies comes to meet it. Gives the ball back in the middle. Good pair of hands to have it in Sierakowski. Chips it inside forward 50. And Zach O'Brien's the man with the ball. And he's going to have to get up, and he does quickly.
He's got to go.
And he's going to have to kick this very quickly. Gets up, goes on, gives it a roost. It's right to the goal line and errant. They can afford no mistakes. Sydney Uni. And that, unfortunately for them, was a behind. 30.5 minutes gone last quarter as Bruce brings the ball back into play.
Kicks it to himself in a wobbly mongrel punt to half back. It works. Everything today has worked well for Canberra. A manic style of play. As Richardson just happy to see the clock come. Oh, from behind, Bonnie holding the footy. No push in the back. Poor tackle from Bonnie. And the Demons are enjoying giving him a little bit of lip about that one. 50-metre penalty going the way of Canberra. Emergency umpire comes out. Now the Demons should take the footy here, run up forward and go and kick a goal. What are you seeing through the binoculars, Kanga?
I'm seeing a little bit of angst. And with Damien Bonnie, I'm seeing a little bit of frustration and resignation thereafter, knowing that the ball was going the other way. I thought he thought it was his free kick, and for a moment we thought it was too. Maguire with the ball, chipping one, half forward out of sight, gives it to Isaac Taylor. Been very serviceable. They'll just feed the ball back. That's Cade Klemke, the coach, with the ball. Not an easy task being a playing coach at this level, or any level for that matter. Up towards Hardy. Day kills it, and a bounce it goes. 32 minutes gone, so you'd think the siren's imminent, given we've only had 4 goals in this last quarter, 2 each way.
So Canberra half forward, ball thrown in. Peak won that one down. Kick out came from Taylor inside 50, bouncing ball, good use of the body there by the Students. They should be able to get a clearance from defensive 50. And Davies stands under it. Geez, strong mark. And he'll have a look at midfield. Found Goulden there. He'll feed the handball to the running player. Students, they're not giving up. Reinhardt there. Oh, good mark from behind. And O'Brien marks. He'll go back, waste no time. Drop punt on the way. Goal umpire does not move. And perhaps there's still a bit of life in this Sydney Uni team. We're back to a 10-point ball game here at Blacktown.
Well, it's hard to imagine at the 33-minute mark, given we've only had 5 goals in this last quarter, that could be possible. Of course, the Sydney Uni players will make it their mission to have their best shot at it. As we see on the Tribal Sports replay, Zach O'Brien just took the mark out in front, went back, knew he had no time to settle, and on this occasion kicked truly. So what are we going to bring? How much time is there left? Ball back in the middle. Paik gets it down his way. Tagliabue's had the better of that ruck contest. Young, Sierakowski just shrugs one from 55, loads it up. It's offline. And we were looking for the grandstand finish.
Where's the short option, Kanga?
Well, every player is pushing out to that outer side. So you'd suggest that they're just going to go out there and just try and tie it up under an enormous amount of bodies. But that kick was just turned over. McFadden squares the ball up to Young.
Young, he's too far out from goal. Canberra players flood back. Kicks it looking for Reinhard. Derek's there too. Big pack of players. 5 fists fly. Good work from Goulden. Just kept the footy in front of him. Kept the pressure going. Round the body, O'Brien. Cut off. And the Demons will look to handball it out of defence. There is Potter. Potter wraps up a tackle. And it will be tossed up. That's not what they would have wanted here, Uni. Wanted the boundary line.
I'm just wondering what Aaron Bruce was doing then, because he took the mark. He could have gone back, given it time. He had the coach a little bit further on. So maybe the captain and the coach were just saying, well, we'll just rack up a couple of extra possessions. But now not the time. Coming through, Burke, right to the goal square, over the back. Aaron Bruce, he was there, trying to save the day. And he did so on that occasion. Goes to the outer side, Vardeniga. He's got time and space, so they can open it up here. The run of Martin has it over the top. The kick is a good one. So now on that outer wing, with the siren going, the Canberra Demons, they defeat Sydney University by 9 points in a magnificent effort. The first time in NEFL history that the 6th place side progresses into the second week of the finals. And they are stunned. I guess we are stunned. But all credit needs to go to the Canberra Demons here this afternoon, Eddie Summerfield.
They came out today. Aaron Bruce said during the week, we're going to play with reckless abandon. We saw in that first quarter there, Kanga, that was sensational. 5 goals to 2, caught everyone off guard. You mentioned at half-time that Sydney Uni perhaps looked like that they thought they'd just roll in today and win. They've won the last couple of weeks by big margins. Every time today Sydney Uni came at them, the Demons just had answers. They had players in the right spot. Maguire was outstanding up forward. And through the middle and just everywhere. Million tackles, million possessions. Harry Carr up forward, 3 goals. Aaron Bruce, we saw him take a mark in the dying seconds at fullback. Great up forward as well as an option. They're going to be a real threat. Injury-free, you'd think today, Kanga. They've been very good. And what went wrong for Sydney Uni?
Well, I just don't think that they really guarded possession of the football enough. They didn't really try and be as efficient as, not try, but they weren't as efficient as they possibly could with ball in hand today. They turned the ball over in dangerous positions. Some of those direct turnovers gave Canberra scoring opportunities, a few of which that they absolutely took advantage of, and goals in the first, second and third quarters that I can think of straight off the top of my head came directly from turnovers. They came here this afternoon probably thinking that they would have the better of Canberra, given the fact that they'd beaten them 3 out of 4 times in season 2018. It wasn't to be, however, because Canberra, they really shrugged off their lethargy that they had in the last month of the home and away season to bring energy, run and enthusiasm to the game, and they have run out winners by that 9 points.
Mitch Maguire, as I mentioned there, Tribal Sports Rising Star winner for the season. 45 disposals today, 10 tackles as well, absolute machine. Malina, he had 28 for the Demons, Smout 25, Taylor 24. For the students, as you mentioned, Kanga, throughout the call, probably just didn't have enough support staff there. Craig Byrne, outstanding as always, 34 touches, 6 tackles in them. Louis Stevenson provided some run, but a couple of times his possession just didn't quite hit targets. McFadden, he had 24. Zach O'Brien, we saw him go down forward in that last quarter as an option. He rested there throughout the game. Managed 2 goals for his 23 possessions, but just once again, too few doing the heavy lifting for Sydney Uni.
Well, they had the benefit of the hit-outs, the clearances. They just didn't make them pay Sydney University. And Canberra, in general play, ran, worked hard, and got the job done in the finish. They were terrific, and we're hearing a big round of applause for the Demons as they come off the field. They will progress through to week 2 of the 2018 Tribal Sport NEFL Finals Series. They meet the Sydney Swans in no small task right there. And of course, on the other side of the draw, Aspley and Brisbane Lions are doing battle as we speak, and scores are tied there at half-time. And the winner of that contest will go on to play Southport for a place in the grand final. The Canberra Demons, they win this afternoon. On behalf of myself, Mark Kennedy, and thanks to you, Eddie Summerfield, thanks for joining me, mate.
What a great game of footy. Can't wait for week 2 of the finals and to watch the second half of that Aspley-Brisbane game. As you mentioned, scores level. And
thanks to our broadcast partner, Bar TV. We were live with NEFL TV here. And of course, the NEFL is proudly supported by Elastoplast. Canberra Demons run out victors here at Blacktown International Sports Park. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week here on NEFL TV.